Hi, I'm Paul Uliberry, and this is my Discraft in the bag. I'm gonna make it pretty simple and start from putters to mid-ranges, fairway drivers, and then to my faster high-speed drivers. So first off, I recently made the switch to the Luna. This is one of Discraft's newest putters. I really like this because of the rounded bottom, and it's also beadless, so it feels really comfortable in my hand, and it makes for an easier release. When I go outside the circle though, I actually switch to the Focus. When I say outside the circle, I actually mean like about 40 feet and out. And I like this one because it has a little bit more glide than the Luna does. I can put a nice pop on it, and it's really kind of consistent for that nice floaty. Doesn't really go as far past. I don't have to worry about rollaways and things like that. My next one is the Z-Ringer. This is actually probably my favorite disc in my bag right now. I like it because of the lower profile of the rim here. It works for my natural grip, which is actually a power grip. And so I have a cleaner release because it's not so deep, and I can throw it almost like a mid-range, but it is great for about 250 feet to 280. It has a really straight flight. New ones obviously have a little more stability, but I've beat this one into a super straight, consistent putter. So this has actually added a new shot to my game that I never had. If you throw Discraft, everybody has to have ESP zone. This is just an all-around consistent flyer. It's your stability that you need in that putter lineup. I can throw it sidearm, backhand, whatever the situation calls for. Windy conditions, even short up shots when it's calm, it's just super consistent. One of the best discs out there. I'll go into my mid-range, which is actually super simple right now. I only have 3. I have Buzz, Z Buzz, and this is just really flippy for big long turnovers. I'm trying to work other buzzes into the bag right now, but it's been kind of a long process. This is actually ESP Wasp, and I'm really liking this for kind of straighter, stable shots. I can also put it on an anhyzer, and it fights through the angle and kind of the flat, so I'm really loving the ESP Wasp. I also have a drone, and this is for a little notch up from the zone. It goes a little bit further, that same stability that you need for all those, running around 300 to 250, 250 foot shots. And yeah, just super consistent disc. And that's what stability gives you, is consistency. So I'll go into my fairway drivers now, which I am testing out a lot of them. One of my favorite discs right there. People actually laugh when they see this one. Avenger SS in the Pro D plastic, and I use this one for when I'm in crazy situations in the woods or something, trying to get out of trouble. I use it for rollers, low ceiling rollers and things like that. So I call it my get out of jail free card. I have Ace Race Heat, and this thing is a disc I use for big, long turnovers. Something like a hole that bends from left to right that you have to fade long distances way right. I use this one. You can give it height, and it just kind of carries that glide super nice and consistent, and lands very soft. So the Heat, it's the Mantis. Mantis was one of the first discs that found its way in my bag right away. I can't wait to get in the woods with this thing. It's super consistent for straight shots. It has a really slow turnover as well. It doesn't really glide a lot to the right, but it'll slowly fade in kind of tight corridors. I have a more stable one that I use for kind of a glidey hyzer, to where other discs might want to get to the ground fast. This one will kind of slowly get there, and I can push around corners better with it and everything. So I'm really loving the Mantis. I've been trying out the Z Tracker. I like the way this one actually releases out of my hand. and the stability is really nice. I'm still trying to get used to it, but it's definitely made a spot in the bag, but I'm not sure if it's gonna stay there. So next up is ESP Vulture, and this one's a little bit faster than, I believe it's a little bit faster than the Mantis for me. I use this one for right around 400 foot, like straight shots, or if there's wind and I need something that with a little bit more stability with the speed, I use the Vulture. So now I get into my faster discs, faster drivers. I have a titanium crank SS. I use this one for probably right around 430 to 450 long turnovers, something that I need to go from left to right. With all the new course designs out there, it seems like there's a lot of left to right shots where you need something that kind of glides to the right, and I use a crank SS for that. And I have a ESP crank, and this one I actually use for my rollers, so big, long, 450 to 550 foot rollers or something like that. I use this crank right here, ESP. Now I'll get into the forces. I have ESP force, and I got this one from a buddy. It's super beat up, so I kind of use it for more straight stable shots. Which I feel like a lot of people are using the force for is mostly stability. This one's a little bit more beat than my Z ones, so I get a little extra glide with the stability that I want. These ones are kind of my go-to in the windy situations where I need something that I can rely on in headwinds, something that I can throw about 350 to 400 feet with a nice hyzer, and I know it's not gonna flip right. So water situations where I'm trying to block off the right side, this will be my go-to. Next up will be my nukes. I have an ESP nuke, and this is actually probably the furthest flyer in my bag. So any holes over 420 to 430, I'm using this one on all shots. Hyzers, big turnovers, straight shots, whatever it is. This is my big flyer right now. And then crazy windy situations or little like super right to left skip shots that I'm trying to work a disc over there, I'll use the Nuke OS. And found this one on the used rack. Thought it might be a little beat up, but I found out that most all Nuke OSs are just the most stable disc ever. So that's what I use this for. And then last of the faster drivers are my Kongs. These ones just came out, and I'm still learning them, but I found that they fly similar to a Force, but they have a little bit more glide, so they're going further for lower arm speeds. I feel like this could replace a lot of shots that you're trying to kind of force that the Force flight with, and this will go. This might fill that spot. So I'm really loving these. And then the last disc in my bag is probably my most important disc, and that's the Raptor. And this is, for anything under 300 feet. Skip shots, slow flex shots, backhand hyzers. This is the disc that I'm using for all those things. I can't wait to get in the woods and use this thing for getting out of trouble with sidearm rollers to backhand flex shots, anything under 300 feet. So that's the Raptor. So that's gonna do it for my in the bag. If you have any questions or you wanna actually do some research to find out what discs I was throwing, go to discraft.com. They'll have everything that you need to know and ways that you can get these discs. Thank you, catch you out on the course.
The Raptor was created for a specific shot, a specific distance, and especially comfort. A lot of thought went into the design of the Raptor. We wanted to make a disc comparable to the Zone that just went a little bit further with that consistency. And with with the Raptor, I really feel like we accomplished that.
Two.
Oh, what up, everybody? I'm Paul Uliberry, joined by my big brother, Pete Uliberry.
Hi, guys.
And today we're bringing you live commentary and live coverage from the 2019 Ledgestone Insurance Open. And, man, we got a stat card for you guys today. It's going to be awesome. This is FPO coverage. Pete, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Looks like the current temperature out there is around 68 degrees. The wind is blowing about 10 miles an hour from the east-southeast. So we'll see how that challenges the ladies today.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting. I was looking at some of the scores, and a couple people under par, but it seems like about even par might be a pretty good round today, maybe 3-4 down. Scoring conditions look pretty good, and we're almost about to go live. So who's actually on the card today?
Let's see. We've got Sarah Hokom, Jessica Weese, Vanessa Van Dyken, and what was the first name for Glade?
Yeah, Glade. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
All righty. Thanks for showing up to the Ledgestone Open, women. It's time for you to start your weekend of activity. First off the tee out of Grass Valley, California, Jessica Weese.
Yeah, it looks like Jessica, obviously the defending champion. Hole 1, par 4. They're going to all want to tee off, and that's going to be inbounds, but it looks like she turned it over a little bit.
Fair shot, safe to start the tournament.
Yeah, super safe. So if she goes left of that path, actually, right there, that's also safe. But the wood line is going to be the out-of-bounds line. And then the basket's going to be kind of tucked over there, over the hillside for her second shot. I think this hole kind of favors, actually, Hokom's play here, which is going to be sidearm. And that's perfect.
Yeah. It'll make for an easier approach down in the green.
San Diego, California, Vanessa Van Dyken.
And here's Vanessa. She's actually having a breakout season this year, playing very well. Lots of top 10 finishes, along with a handful of top 5 finishes. She just has a really consistent game. Looks like she's going to line up the slight hyzer as well. I don't think they're really that stressed out about this tee shot, honestly.
No, it looks pretty standard to start the tournament with.
Yeah, they got all that room to the right. The mistake you'll see is then kind of leak it left, and then that hillside will grab them and pull them out of bounds. But these girls they're in control.
Yeah, for sure. She's making her decision what selection she's taking now.
Yeah, and this is the first time I think a lot of us is going to see Miss Glide here. I know that I've never seen her play, so this is going to be fun, yeah.
See you on the flip side.
Yes, you will. Disc golf is a relatively young sport, but its popularity makes it one of the fastest growing pastimes in the world. The PDGA is a not-for-profit, worldwide player organization dedicated to promoting the sport. Like a long drive off the tee, disc golf is soaring. So don't just be a witness to disc golf's explosive growth, be a part of it. Join the PDGA.
I practiced a lot. It's a vice. An escape from stress, from work. It's my chance to just get away during the week. It's like meeting up with an old friend, you know? I'll never get tired of that sound.
Looks like Hokom's actually going to be out on this one, and you know, we had mentioned this before that I thought she was probably going to go sidearm. Obviously, Sarah Hokom prefers the sidearm, although I have seen a few more shots this year that she's been really working on that backhand approach, getting that nose up and landing the disc really soft. But, you know, she's known for this shot right here.
For sure, she's so in control of that shot.
Yeah.
She's had some really good rounds this year, actually.
There she goes. And it's just going to be past that tree right there.
She caught it, setting down. Looks like she's just a little ways out of the circle.
Yeah, and with her style putt, that's going to be a tough one to even run. I don't know if she'll have the height right there with that tree kind of being close. So a small mistake, but par on this hole really isn't that bad.
Yeah. You were talking about Vanessa having a good breakout year. This year in Vegas, she had her highest rated round of a 1029 rated round. So that's extremely solid play.
Yeah, that's close to my highest rated round. There she goes. And she's actually lining up this hyzer.
She'll be probably coming in around the big oak.
Yeah. And I like this actually. This looks soft.
Nice shot.
Yeah, she's gonna have a
Looks
putt.
good.
Yeah, that's right in the circle. She's known for being a really good putter too.
Shove it slightly uphill. She can be a little more aggressive with it.
And Casey actually had the furthest drive on the hole, so she's feeling pretty good right now. Local to Illinois.
Got a little bit low.
Turned it over a bit.
Safe. She'll just be pitching up from there. Still going to be a tricky approach with the steep angle of the hill. See
Yeah,
what she
for
can
sure.
do with that. Do you think she was actually meaning to play over there as opposed to approach?
Yeah, I think so. I think she probably, obviously turned it over a bit much, but minimum mistake,
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it for an easier up and down.
Yeah, obviously we all would want to be laying up from about 60 instead of 100, but I think she'll be able to manage from there. It will be trickier though. And here's
Just because
Jessica.
lining up the backhand. Oh, that looked clean.
Just get under.
She got a good knockdown with the tree.
Yeah, she said nice tree, so that's always nice when you have a little bit of an errant shot and you get a good little tree kick on your first hole.
Get your feelings running, things are going your way for the day.
Yeah, exactly. Momentum is everything in golf. Yeah, it looks a little breezy though. I mean, overcast. But for the most part, I'm sure they're all loving the weather over there.
Currently here at the booth outside, it's going to be hitting over 100 today, so 65 degrees sounds pretty good right now.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, she's not sure actually where she landed. I think now she's getting a look at what she got herself into.
Yeah. She's going to have to bring it in with the soft touch and control that downhill speed. Can you talk towards what that takes?
Yeah, so this camera angle really does it a pretty good justice here. That is, as soon as she crests that hill right there where you see the basket, it's a steep drop off, and
run away pretty quick.
Absolutely. This looks like a good angle, though.
Well done.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. That'll leave her a quick pitch in.
Here's Sarah needs a little anhyzer on this putt. You can see her really lining that up. Just for a little soft layup, I'm guessing. That's what I would do if I was her.
Yeah, it's exactly what she's doing. Just match the angle of the hill, let it slide to the basket, and get up and down.
They did kind of catch up on that little roll angle right there, right when it hit the pin.
She was having a conversation about sit down. Go.
And this is right outside the circle, so I'm gonna guess that nope, she's laying it up. Wow, maybe that branch was kind of in the way for a nice little.
It might have just been in her point of view for the height. In order to comfortably run a downhill putt, you want to give it a little bit of height sometimes to keep it slowed.
And here's Vanessa just sitting outside the circle. This one she is going to run.
I'd wager yes.
Yeah.
I think you get more of a green light when you're looking up the hill.
Yeah, and she's almost level with the basket right here, so she's known as being a very, very good putter around and just outside the circle. So I'm expecting her to definitely give this a bid. And what a start to start off with a birdie on the first hole.
That would be excellent.
Featured card.
Get those first hole jitters out of the way. Here we go. She's covered it.
Yeah, Vanessa just a bit low, but here's Casey
Good
with a
putt.
good putt. Yeah.
Absolutely. Up and down par, I believe that is.
Yeah, just a good feeling, tapping in a little 20-footer down the hill to start your round. Especially after, her upshot was a little bit errant, and then layup a little bit short, but really good. And then you have that nice little tester, and they're all going to be tapping in for pars. So
Still walking away with the same score as many of these women that are well known around the country and the world. It's got to feel real good. Hole 2. Can you see the?
yeah, hold. Pardon me. Hole 2, 313 feet, par 3. And this is going to be one that is totally gettable for this group. You can see it kind of pitched up on another little hillside right there, and they have plenty of options. It looks like you can go left. I think we're going to see that from probably Sarah and possibly Jessica. You can go right, you can go straight at it, and not a lot of danger here. You see kind of the women's field really attacking this hole. So
Yeah, I'd expect Sarah's forehand to come around on the left side. Seems like it'd be the more comfortable shot.
yeah, absolutely.
Looks like they're making their way down to the fairway. It's the map showing that we have, like you said, a right-hand gap, a left-hand gap. The right-hand gap has several trees in the way that you have to make the initial gap before you get there. Where's that? We're looking at hole 3. I'm looking at the wrong hole. I apologize, guys.
No, this is right. It's just a different little hole preview. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, like we said before, they got off to a really good start on the first hole. Obviously, they were probably looking to be a little more aggressive with their scoring, but at the same time, treacherous green, OB everywhere, and they're feeling pretty good, going into hole 2.
You get those first hole jitters, the nerves worked out, and
nothing like having a bogey on the first hole. So none of them did that, and They don't have to really have any weight so far that I'm seeing, which is good.
Did we all get fours? Yeah.
Now they're taking score, and then
Well, Paul, you've been there before, at least to the Peoria area. What's it like around there?
yeah, it's exactly what it looks like. I mean, it's usually overcast. Sometimes you get some sunny days. It looks like actually in the future we're gonna have to deal with some rain and things like that.
I hope that holds off for their round.
Yeah, and here's actually just good lining up the backhand. And you know what? At second glance of this hole, this is probably going to be the preferred play for a lot of them, because it looks like maybe that, you know, that path comes into play a bit. And that looked pretty good.
For sure.
Oh, she went a little deep. Yeah, and Hokom gonna take that wide play, probably try to flip something right along that path line.
Yeah.
Pull it in there. If I were to guess, this is going to be in the circle.
That looks really good.
Nice shot.
Wow. Yeah, it's perfect. That's a great start for Sarah.
I believe Vanessa will be taking the backhand route. She's got a nice clean throw.
She really does. Yeah, very good form. Looks like it might have warmed up a bit. She took her coat off. Maybe feel a little more loose.
See the trees down there moving a little bit.
That is one thing about Peoria. It is always breezy. And that's pretty good. That's going to be Circle's edge as long as it didn't roll away. Yeah, you see it kind of pop up over that ridge right there. She's right around Circle's edge or just inside.
I expect Cassie's going to be playing the same shot. Previous hole, she threw it further than the rest of the ladies, so she has a good chance of parking this. She hits the angle.
Nice.
Looks like she's on the edge of the circle also.
I can throw this disc around the world in one shot.
Never play disc golf too far into the jungle. There may be cheetahs.
Someone on your card can't recall if they threw a 6 or a 7. It was probably an 8.
See? Stay getting birdies, my friends.
What do you think, flatness and stiffness on this?
Somewhat flat, neutral stiffness. This is a good disc right here.
Got it. 2 more.
Danny, this is the sick one.
Dude, I gotta get through all these today.
Cheers to a good day, gentlemen.
Cheers. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's good.
It's a hard day.
That's great.
And as they kind of get into position for their next shot, I believe Jessica actually may have rolled out of bounds to the left side of that path.
Okay.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, and I think they're
looking
kind
for
of
a mark on the sidewalk, and
Yeah.
with that water behind her, I don't expect this one to be her to run the putt this early in the round.
Yeah, especially when that's not the basket she's going for.
That's wild.
She's definitely, that'd be a really bad, that'd be a pretty bad putt, Pete. Looks like she's throwing her approach up the hill there.
I'm so glad she went for this one. It's,
That would have been an impressive putt if she made it. Either one of them. But she puts herself in position. She'll be able to knock that down for an unfortunate bogey, but good approach nonetheless. I think she's going to be running this one. She's in pretty good position to do so with a soft bit or something. Nope.
She's laying up.
You know, I'm 0 for 1 today.
I'll take the next one and see. Vanessa's approaching her lie. I believe she was just outside the circle. I expect her to run it.
Oh, bold move.
Very bold. Slightly downhill. Maybe more eye level. One camera angle looks.
Typically, the wind's coming from right to left where she is, and that's what I'm guessing that it is here. So I expect her to kind of put this about basket height and wait for a little bit of boy. 0 for 2.
All right, well.
Yeah, I actually think, Pete, she was giving that a bid, but maybe a little bit skeptical about the drop off there.
Could be the air too. That air's coming around those trees and different than what we expect. It could have just dropped a bit.
It would have taken a tornado to lift that one.
It would have taken. They might have some of those scheduled for. That is true. For later in the week. So
here's Jessica lining up to save that, to actually save the bogey.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that one's going to sting. I mean, this is playing as the 13th hardest hole on the course, which means it's playing pretty easy. And that's going to be a double bogey 5. And, we saw Sarah kind of throw that sidearm, and she basically based it. There's a good putt by Vanessa. So, Hokom's going to card what I think is going to be a 2 here.
I think so, and that's going to give her control of the box and control of the card and a lot more confidence going to the next couple holes.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple pars, they're going to tap in. And
love getting outside and challenging yourself to become better? How about spending time with family and friends, or just marveling at the pure joy of flight? Then you've come to the right place at the right time. Join the PDGA.
Hole 3, no, the 384 feet. Let's see here. We're not getting the preview on this side. Well,
yeah, 384 feet. Par 3, this one's coming in as the 3rd most difficult. So we're going to see Sarah line up this sidearm again. And you can see kind of the slopes going from left to right. And she's going to have to match kind of the angle of the hill perfectly to not get this skip. And I believe she's just going to be throwing a layup shot here. That one gets a little bit high on her, but that looks perfect.
Wow.
That was great.
Really good shot.
Yeah, it looked like she was a little disappointed with the height, It kind of got a little lift, but it ended up being perfect. And this is one to where I'm guessing there's not going to be a lot of birdie 2s on this hole. I think that the car's going to be playing this for, par.
Yeah.
And we see Vanessa line this up. It's a small gap to hit for a backhand player. And as we saw Sarah kind of really use the whole entire ceiling of this hole, as we see Vanessa throw a beautiful turnover down that hill. Yeah, that's perfect, And and now they're going to be able to throw these easy layups to that, guarded basket.
That's also a very great shot, it looks like. It's tracking right down the hill, right down into the pocket down there. Very good.
Yeah, and as you can see, this basket is surrounded by all these bunkers, so they're just trying to get down there in putting distance so that they can really use the touch of their putt to land safe and get their pars and scurry on out of here. And there's a pretty good shot right there as
for sure.
well. So
She's got herself in a pretty good position right there.
yeah. Oh no! And she catches the worst roll. Wow. That is a
It looked like such a good shot.
Yeah, horrible break. It looked like she might have just thrown a super stable disc and then that kind of popped up and started rolling there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Jessica takes that crazy roll away, and she's sitting now out of bounds, just right after taking that double bogey 5. I mean, this one hurts. You know, she threw, from what I saw, a pretty good shot right there. Could have totally sat down, and it just takes this, 50-foot roll, and now she has this really tricky upshot, honestly. That gets away from her, but it's actually safe, and that shot could have...
Looks like it's safe.
Yeah, but that shot could have easily gone in the bunker as well. So she's having her problems right now. And these aren't easy approaches at this basket.
No, not at all. You have so much area you have to avoid in order to get near the basket to have a putt.
Yeah, and it's just that's a really good shot. Wow. I mean, it's like an awkward distance. Do I putt it? Do I throw it? And you have to be perfect, otherwise, you're in one of these bunkers.
Any indecision will put you in the bunker for sure.
Like this one is this is tough. I see her pushing this a little bit past the basket, even maybe giving it a run with like an Anheuser or something.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and you see the disappointment in her face right there as she walks away, knowing, she made a pretty big mistake right there.
Yeah.
But that's that's our point. It's not easy to throw that kind of mid-range. Do I jump putt it? Do I throw it? You have to have so much touch, bunkers everywhere.
You have to commit to one spot, and that spot is 2 or 3 discs wide.
Yeah.
There's not any room for error.
And that's what I like that play, almost giving it a little bid.
Yeah, so that when you do fall short, you're right there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe catch a little birdie in the process once in a while.
Get a little wind bump.
And now we see Jessica lining up this is for another bogey save, and we saw her just miss a kind of a shorter one on the previous hole. Well, let's see if she can make the correction, aim a little bit higher. She does get a little bit higher, but fortunately misses that one as well, and that's going to be for 2 double bogeys in a row.
Yeah.
With 2, honestly, pretty bad. On the previous hole, she took a wild skip out of bounds. Here's Hokom.
Now, Hokom's putting from inside the bunker, which is basically a stroke.
Yeah.
And you play where it lies.
Yeah, exactly.
When I need to check the wind, I just let out my hair.
Disc golf is 90% mental. The other 10% also mental.
If you want to make new friends on the course, pick up someone's disc in the fairway by accident.
stay getting birdies, my friends.
Cassie's tapping in for her par.
Yeah.
That's got to feel real good. It's tough to play a hole and watch other people around you struggle. It might make you a little more nervous, and she seems to be handling that well with the cameras and with everything going on so far.
Yeah, exactly. Moving into hole 4. This is the 4th most difficult hole on the course. So, they just got done with a pretty tough one on hole 3, and now they're going to go straight into another tough one. This
looks really treacherous.
Yeah, 345 feet, par 3. As you can see, you have the pond kind of right in front of it. They're going to be throwing this tee shot, and it looks like if you got it, the wide hyzers is kind of the play. And yeah. I remember years prior, a lot of people kind of lay up short and then kind of pitch over. So you definitely have some options, and we'll see what they as they take the score. We'll see what they decide to do here.
The water in play there, like it seems to come close enough to the basket to really make you think about it if you really want to go for it.
Yeah, as we see Vanessa kind of line it up, check the wind. So the wind's going to be a play here. She's choosing to go to the right side of the tee pad, which is a nice little feature, tournament director allowing them to go to the right of the tee pad just in case it's a little bit slip, or sometimes the tee pads are a little worn in. So if that looks a little odd to the viewer, totally legal. And as Vanessa lines this up, yeah, I believe they're all going to probably go for this. And that looks a little high, and going left, it needs to catch a good break, not to honestly be short. That was just a little high and left, and she's still wondering if that's safe or not.
It's blue, right? Yeah, it's like greenish. Yeah,
They're talking about it. They seem to think it's okay.
Yeah, they said they saw it, so. But yeah, the trick is to get it wide.
Yeah.
Wide and throw it pretty hard. Even that bunker on the other side, you can make a putt from that bunker. So,
based on her previous shots, I know she has the distance for this hole.
And that's kind of a similar line. If she hits that tree, it could easily, we see water right there. And that's going to be wet. That's the first mistake we've seen from her.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, here's that backhand we were talking about that she's really been working on. And
she got it wide.
She got it wide with a nice flip up. It's got to go as well, though. Catches that tree, and
It did touch up there. It did.
It looks like she actually cleared and touched inbounds, but then possibly it just kind of rolled back into the water. So she'll be able to take it up there. I expect Jessica to be running this one. Her backhand.
She flattened it out. That looks a little better.
It looks amazing. Go in. Oh, beautiful shot. Especially after coming off of back-to-back double bogeys, to be able to calm down, put that one really close.
For sure. That was excellent. She did exactly what you were talking about. You have to either get it wide or flatten out to not bring those trees on the left into play.
Yeah. Stress-free birdie right there.
For sure.
The 2019 United States Amateur Match Play Championship continues with our doubles bracket. Local doubles qualifier match play brackets will be held throughout the United States and Canada through July and August. The championship bracket will be hosted in Emporia, Kansas on September 27th through the 29th. In the Players Pack, each player on the teams will receive a Dynamic Disc Biofusion Raider and a Latitude 64 Gold Burst Pioneer. Make sure you go to discgolfmatchplay.com for more information for the tournament directors and for the players. We can't wait to see you out here in Emporia, Kansas for the championships.
here's Casey. She takes, you know, she did end up out of bounds, and she actually didn't cross inbounds on the other side, so she's taking it from here, throwing the upshot. Actually, pretty good bit, honestly, good height. And she's gonna have a little tester though, coming back a little 20-footer down the hill. Definitely be.
We'll get to see how she tests her putt now.
Yeah,
we'll be in the background and a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. And it looks like everybody else actually cleared to the safe side. I know we saw Sarah hit, land, and then possibly go back in the water. I believe that's what, you know, what the consensus was. And we didn't really get to see where Vanessa landed, but I'm guessing it's safe.
I'm guessing also. They were saying they could see it. I'm guessing she's down below the tree there, and she might have an obstructed putt. Whether she runs it or not, I'm not sure.
And you can see them kind of walking up and smiling, her and Vanessa. So typically when somebody goes out of bounds, there's no smiling.
They're not smiling as much about it.
Yeah, exactly. But she is going to be, you know, let's say she's safe. She's going to have all kinds of trees to deal with, slope. I'm not sure what kind of gaps she's going to have in there, so she's 40 feet. Yeah. She's just going to be pitching that straight up the hill, easy par.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure that's what she wanted to. I mean, obviously, it'd be great to park the hole, kind of like Jessica did, but to see that kind of tee shot get away from her and go left into the wood line.
And still end up safe.
Yeah, and just have, you know, a little, I mean, she could run this if she wants.
Yeah.
Especially being as good of a putter as she is. I mean, we keep saying that over and over again, but that is her strength.
For sure.
We've seen that this year.
Let's see here.
Going with the straddle this time. Another trade putt.
Give it a bit.
Great putt.
Had the right speed, just a little low. Make sure to not have any energy if it does hit the basket and run.
We saw that on hole 1 too, almost at the exact same spot, you know. Yeah. So as soon as she makes a correction, aims a little higher, we might see her making a couple of these.
I'm assuming it's cool. My lie will be right next to where it's mine.
And here's Sarah lining up, looks like about circle's edge, maybe just outside the circle. And I saw her actually reach out and touch the branch in front of her. So I'm not sure if that's actually giving her kind of an unobstructed lie there. Yeah.
When things are around you, when you're getting into a bush, when you have branches behind you in your head, it really does get very difficult to concentrate.
Yeah, I think she's going to switch the spin putt because of it, honestly. Yeah. I mean, we're used to seeing her have that kind of high, lofty drop putt, really good from about circle's edge with that little jump putt, but
I don't have to push on it pretty hard.
Yeah, I think she switched to the spin putt there because of that branch.
I'd like to see her make this.
Yeah.
This would be.
Well, we saw her make a similar one on hole 1, so checking her lie as well, taking her time.
Ooh.
Yeah. And at least it's set, you know. She catches a little bit more metal on that right side. It can easily pop up into a roll, and bad things can happen. So, but now she has another tough one coming up the hill.
You're not looking at the water this time, though.
And that's kind of what happens, though. You miss the whole thing. That ain't gonna stop on a slope like that.
This hole is no picnic.
And then a little left side she goes. So
if I was going out in the park, though, this is where I'd have a picnic, is right there.
Where Jessica's drive is?
Exactly. Excellent correction on Jessica's part. Like you said, coming up with 2 double bogeys, parking this hole.
She got to see everybody's tee shot, make a nice correction from it all. And Yeah, she gets one back. Unfortunately for Casey, she's actually tapping in for double bogey. She was in pretty good position for par. And then Hokom actually carrying land, hitting, and then rolling in the water. She's going to be tapping in for bogey and then a par from Vanessa there.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, hole 5. Par 3, 246 feet. And as you can see, they're going to have this, I'm not going to say tight cap.
I wouldn't say it's easy, though, either.
I wouldn't say it's easy as well, but, this is playing right at 246 feet. So the distance really isn't going to be a problem, as we see.
Vanessa had to run back and tap in.
She already thought that she had tapped in. That's funny. I've done that probably 100 times. So, but yeah, 246 feet and par 3. This is the 13th most difficult hole. Tied for, I believe it was hole 2. So this isn't playing that difficult, honestly. And we'll see a couple sidearms. I'm guessing we'll see sidearm from Jessica, sidearm from Hokom, and then a couple backhands. And it's going to be Jessica's box as well, so especially after that absolute hard job.
You think she'll go sidearm on this one also?
Yeah, I do. I think it shapes well for that. Unfortunately, I've never played this course, so I'm actually seeing it for the first time today. And I'm not sure if there's actually a wide hyzer where you don't have to hit that gap. I don't see any mandatories or anything like that. So, I mean, that's definitely a possibility, but
yeah. Water carry to 180 feet. Looks like water about 28 feet left of the basket. If you do throw a backhand, it can dribble into the water out there and go straight OB.
Yeah, and it looks like the path actually plays as a river. So it doesn't look like it's actually the OB line. As you can see that, from our whole preview that the both ponds kind of marked as out of bounds. And I am 0 for 2 with my calls here.
She goes backhand.
And a beautiful one at that one.
That was really good.
Yeah, put it right there in circle. She'll have a nice little look at the basket for birdie. To get at least one of those double bogeys back.
Yeah.
And Vanessa actually leading the card at even par. So she seems in control of her game right now. Hits the gap nice.
Looks really good.
Yep. This one.
Fading back.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's going to feel really good.
Mm-hmm. She'll have a little, 18 to 20 footer right there for birdie.
I fully expect a sidearm on this one.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to make this call. I'm going up 1 for 3.
Yep. And this could be an ace run.
Very good shot.
Perfect. Yep. No problems there. Tap
Close
in
to the pin.
She's going to get back
She's
to
happy.
even. Yeah, get back to even par. Casey's going backhand. So far, all really great drives. So I expect nothing less here. And
Here it's leaking.
It's got to grab onto that island part. Nah, that's not even close.
Can't grab island if it doesn't touch it.
Yeah, it looks like
That's
it just got away from her. Maybe she was, thinking of throwing it a little bit more Anheuser and just kind of got away there. That's going to be well short of the island too. So she's going to, cross in bounds, but have about 45 feet probably.
Yeah, and that's not going to bode well for an easy putt. It's going to be stressful, and I'd almost expect her to lay it up. We'll see if I can go 2 for 3.
Oh,
2
you're
for
going
4.
nice.
2 for 5. we're back, and I think she's just gonna lay it up.
Yeah, she's like 60 feet, Pete.
She's
good call. She'll tap that one.
I gotta call it like I see it.
Yeah, she's gonna tap that one in for bogey and go to +4 on the round. That's not what you're looking for. As we see Vanessa about to, if she can make this, she'll go to 1 under on the round, which is, when we first started, I said 1 under to right around even, 4 down is what we're looking for.
Yeah, so put her right in that realm, and then she can.
Yeah, stress-free. Par, 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 par. Hopefully a little birdie here. She's off for the races.
Man, just a little high.
A little?
Right off the band.
That's as high as you can go.
Without missing it, I guess.
Without going in the water. It looked like she just really wanted it. She putted it very, very hard.
Yeah.
Which is good to see. She was definitely playing super aggressive. And I think sometimes when you have misses like that, you make your card mates kind of second guess their putts as well. As we see Jessica kind of line up, switch stances, taking her time. She taps it in. But yeah, it's no formality from that distance.
Remember, she did hit Trey a couple holes, so she's probably trying to correct for that and make sure to get it, like you said, enough energy to get it in the basket. She's up and down now. She gets a par.
Yeah, it's a disappointing par, though. Yeah, that was a beautiful drive.
Yes, please.
18-footer. Got to make those. As Hokom's, absolutely parks it.
Yeah, she just had a drop in.
Yeah, 2 birdies, a bogey, and a par.
That's when I cost even 50.
Hole 6. We are at 712 feet, par 5. This hole looks treacherous. 17th most difficult. It looks treacherous.
It looks treacherous.
The numbers tell me otherwise. The average is 4.83. OB on over the cart path. Pond is OB, obviously. I don't know any ponds that have ever been inbounds, unless they freeze this time of year.
Dude, no, you can't. They're Jeeps, man. It's a Jeep.
Okay, we're on the green of hole 6. That was a good putt.
Very good putt. As the pace of play from our featured card is actually pretty well, because they're kind of catching up to the next featured card, and we see a really good putt there, and we see actually Katrina Allen lining up for what seems to be about a 20-footer, heading right at the water.
This hole reminds me, just with the wall there, of hole 1, Fountain Hills.
Oh, yeah.
Even more of the way it looks. That was a good putt.
Yeah, good putt.
Pretty casual walk, so it didn't seem like it was anything special one way or the other. We have Paige Pierce lining for her putt.
Here's Paige. And that's
Paige in for birdie.
Yeah, that's a good putt. But this hole's at 712 feet. You're going to be able to manage to put your shots in bounds and then have a pretty easy, birdie on this one. As long as you can, these, especially our card, they all have plenty of distance to kind of cut the hole in half and then have easy approaches into the green.
That's Haley King's 5th birdie in a row.
She's on fire.
That's fire for sure. Back on the tee with Jessica Weese. That's drifting.
It needs to sit.
It's gonna be difficult getting a up and down from there, I think. Paige's putt on the previous hole turns out was a putt for eagle.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a pretty good shot. Sarah going for that backhand again, like you said. She's been working on it. That looked really good.
Yeah, she really gave it a nice height, and that's going to be, you know,
She's got it in the center of the fairway.
Yeah, she knows that she'll be able to, with the distance, be able to throw, you know, about 3 of those shots at that distance, and then have a pretty easy birdie. So,
yeah,
Sarah Holcomb's a veteran, and when easy holes like this come into play, she's going to make sure to really capitalize.
And this shot looks all right. It's going up the hill a little bit. Off stance on your next shot might be a little more challenging rather than being right down in the flat of the fairway.
Yeah, but she's not going to have to really worry about biting off a lot of distance. So
that's true.
Probably more disc selection at that point. You know, throw something stable, make sure you have control of it. Here's a similar shot as Vanessa's.
Yeah. On the hill, it looks like they just all really made sure to stay controlled and try and get the center of the fairway. Jessica was the only one that seemed to drift out a little bit of position. I'll see where she ended up landing and what kind of shot she's going to have to either go for the green or lay up.
I mean, they all really have the distance to go for the green, as we saw on the previous hole. Katrina Allen, actually, that putt was for eagle, so she makes eagle, and Paige makes eagle. So this hole's pretty soft. I mean, you really want to make sure you're going to score on this one. Yeah, so we see Haley King. That's 5 birdies in a row. Katrina Allen right behind her with an eagle on the previous hole. I mean, all of a sudden, my predictions are looking pretty bad when I said, you know, right around 4 down to 1 down being a good score today, especially with them being 5 through 6, 4 through 6, 3 through 7. We got a lot of really good scores here. Paige just makes eagle to go to 2 down.
For sure. The calls today, maybe we'll get them back. We'll see. We'll see what happens when weather comes in. We'll see if they're able to stay with it. We're going to come right back here to Sarah's
second shot.
Yes.
Second shot, and she is not going for the pin. She's just laying it up in position. She's going to throw another sidearm right into there, hopefully knock down a birdie.
Sure. That was So Jessica Weese went OB on the right over the path. It's going to be quite a bummer after having picked up that birdie just a little bit ago.
Yeah, we're going to see, you know, she's actually pretty close to the water's edge, so she's going to have a shorter shot into the green. She'll have that option. As we see Casey line up her approach, and this isn't going to be a very far shot. You know, she's going to want to land it right around where Hokom did, I think.
Yeah. Set up an easy approach to the green, get up and down, score. Fairly safe shot again. Playing a little high on the hill. Didn't at all test the water's edge.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to have, you know, 250 feet into the green, and she's going to be able to play it a little bit deep there. Make sure, you know, not to bring the water into play on her next approach shot. So she's going to actually have to probably make a putt.
Vanessa's shot goes right down into the
it's perfect
center cut.
I'm wondering what Jessica's going to do here, if she's actually going to attack this hole. She has the distance to get there.
She does, and she might have a little bit of aggression to let out now that she's going to leave for the third time.
It looks like she's pulling out Firebird. She's going to just chip it into position. Yep, so now they're all pretty much in a similar spot, and
it's going to be about their approaches.
Yep.
How they're going to play that. Well, currently, Hokom is even par. Vanessa's even par. Weese is 2 over, and Glade is at +4. It's quite a spread, but it happened really quick with a couple double bogeys down the stretch, just the last couple holes. And Hokom's managed very well to keep the mistakes to a minimum.
Yeah, I mean, we need to see them kind of you know, one of them at least catch on fire, because we can see on the course right now that the conditions are scoreable.
Very much.
And there's a lot of good scores coming in, a lot of people under par.
With Paige and Kat running on ahead, they're catching on fire. You can't let them get too far away from you.
Yeah, Haley 5 down through 6. Wow. Here's Casey. This will give us kind of a good read of the distance and what they're kind of dealing with these approaches. She's not sure. Grabbing a different disc here. Going with the standstill, so not a very far shot. Oh, she's laying up again.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I can see it sitting up there. I don't know if it's floating, if it's touching.
I mean,
that's going to be
I'm pretty sure they have lines. If they don't have lines, then she's just right there on the edge. But that's a really bad mistake. I mean, she's trying to lay up there just to have easy par, and then, you know.
You can't throw it in the water.
Yeah.
You can't throw it out of bounds that close.
So there's going to be aiming wide, kind of at that tree on the left, and bring it in. As she does right there. Have the distance, does she? Yes, just barely.
Yeah. Woo.
Wow, what a shot.
Push the edge of the wall.
That was super close.
That was real close.
I wasn't sure. I thought that was going to be short, honestly.
She gets it. She should have a fairly easy putt to get up and down.
Yeah, a little 15 to 18 footer. And sometimes seeing somebody else land safe to give you a nice, good read on the distance, you know, makes your shot a bit easier. So now Jessica actually has a nice read of the distance, and this looks, I mean, what a beautiful shot.
Great shot.
Yeah.
It's about 20 feet. It's 25 maybe?
Yeah. That's one thing we've seen her kind of struggle with this round, is about that distance, though. I mean, we saw her miss kind of 2 easy ones, and then not really have to putt on the last couple holes. So
yeah,
we'll see if she can, you know, line it up and actually find her putting form. Vanessa actually laid this up perfect. So this is what you want to do. You know, she played it left, super safe off the tee.
Gave her a lot of room to get down to this spot.
Yeah, a lot of great distance control, and now she has, you know, short shot in. Looks like she's going with a putter.
Do you know what putter she's using by chance?
I believe this is a Challenger. She threw it hard. Perfect.
Perfect. She left nothing to chance on that one. She did everything she possibly could to get it under there. You can see by the commitment in her throw.
And I think we're going to see our first under par scores finally here. I mean, we called it on the last hole with Vanessa's putt, but then she ended up missing the little, you know, 18, 20 footer. So, you know, we have 3 of the women looking at birdie. And unfortunately, Casey
has gone out of bounds, it looks like.
Yeah. So she's going to have this to get up and down for bogey. which is not what you want on this hole. But this hole can play tough. You know, as we saw, she had a little bit of indecision on what she wanted to do, whether she wanted to go for it, and then she ended up making the decision to lay up. And it's all about commitment out here, you know. And it looked like she was just a little bit decisive on what she wanted to do, and
the hole not playing as one of the hardest. It's just like you said, it's about commitment. It's about making sure that you land it in bounds, don't push the edges. And as we can, if you look at the water, you're going to see the wind is coming right to left. Yeah, this isn't an easy shot, honestly. I think we might see her kind of throw it pretty hard. Yeah. Oh no, man. Yeah, and she pulls it a bit, catches that tree. I'm not sure if that's going to be, it did. So she actually, I think she stayed safe there, P. I think she actually catches the tree, hits the water, and might have skipped inbounds. Really? Yeah. If that's what happened, that's a very fortunate result.
If you guys like the H3 V2, but maybe you're looking for just a little bit more flip up and glide, the H4 V2 is going to be your disc. I'm absolutely loving it, and it filled a spot in my bag immediately.
Zuka is now producing limited edition color choices. Zuka can add custom embroidery to the front and/or sides of the bag. Zuka is now producing limited edition color choices. Zuka can add custom embroidery to the front and/or sides of the bag.
Here's Casey lining up this shot. She actually did go out of bounds, so it was tough to see with our camera angle, but she went out of bounds, and she hits that putt. She makes this putt. I think that's a tap and double bogey, though. Yeah. But still, I mean, there's a great putt from right there. That's the longest putt we've seen on this card today, so hopefully that starts, you know, being a trend as we see Jessica line it up from about 25 feet. And this is for birdie. It's for birdie. You know, her being the previous champion, too, she's going to battle. You know, she knows how to play these courses. She knows that she's, you know, has what it takes, and in order for that to happen, she's going to have to start making these putts, though. And that one ends up being a little bit left. And you can see above her, you know, the tree line right there, the branches and stuff, they're moving. There's a lot of wind going right there. It's really difficult when it's swirling to read what exactly is going on. And Sarah hits. As she barely clears the wall there on her approach. Kind of risked it a little bit, and then it paid off, obviously, with a kind of a short, easy putt in there for birdie. So we should see her going to 1 under par. That's a good trend. She makes the correction and puts it in the center this time. Yeah. To move to 1 under as well. Hole 7. Hole 7, 288 feet, par 3. You come off of, 712-foot hole, and now you can kind of take a little break on one of the easier holes on the course. Places the 11th most difficult hole in the course. Only OB to speak of would be left of the basket would be an OB bunker, and right of the basket an OB bunker. About 23 feet from the basket to the bunker on the left. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of, maybe I'm hoping that we see a lot of birdies, but typically you're going to see a lot of pars on this hole. Not a lot of bogeys, and maybe a birdie splashed in there.
Yeah. Getting a view of one of our sponsors, Savage Apparel Company.
Yeah, Savage Apparel, man. They're making a splash into disc golf right now, and we really thank them for their sponsorship for this Ledgestone Insurance Open. As we see them get in position, you know, something I want to note is we're going to be coming to this area for the World Championships as well. So, you know, a lot of it, the pros and everything, this is kind of a test run for the World Championships. And I think that's, you know, going to be super interesting to have a big tournament like this, you know,
for sure.
Pro Tour on these courses to feature, you know, coming into the World Championship, which is obviously our biggest tournament of the year.
You think this event then could be a read on what we're going to see at the World Championships?
It very well could, just depending on how everybody plays and how it shakes up. We're seeing some really good scores come in today, but we have a long weekend. I mean,
for sure,
anything can happen, especially with the weather that you know is predicted for the rest of the week.
Well, speaking to the World Championships coming here, like when you've gone to other events and won on one of the courses, how confident are you coming back the following year or the following event that is on those courses? How confident are you to come back and go, I know how to get it done here? And
you know, it goes to the old saying, like, horses for courses, you know? Like, there's definitely certain courses that catches your eye and you play better at, and there's some courses where you just are on that weekend. So it's all relative.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, you took a birdie. Yeah. Okay. I was just looking at the hole. I didn't want to get bad karma going. Like, if I don't say something, I'm going to throw a bad shot. And she might too. No, I
as Vanessa tries to steal Sarah's box and she pulls her right off. Nope,
yeah, it is.
That's my box.
Good. You're good to go. It's warm.
All right. Like she said, keeping the karma positive.
Checking to make sure the tee pad's nice and grippy there.
She's going to lean on her forehand. That's wide. It
looks pretty good to me, honestly.
Cleared all the branches out of the way that needed to be. She's right in the circle, it looks like.
Yeah, that was a really good shot. And it looks like Vanessa's kind of lining up. Is she going to go low hyzer, you think, around those trees? Looks like maybe.
It's looking like it.
Or wide hyzer.
She's going to have the right height control not to get into them branches. It's like the gust kind of pulled her to the left.
Oh boy.
Boy, that's real close.
Looks safe though. She'll be able to make easy layup from there, take par. Jessica, you know, got a good read off of Sarah's drive there. Let's see.
She's gets wide enough also.
Yep, gets that kind of flat. Have a nice skip. A good shot, yeah.
For sure. That puts her right in that position again, right about 24 feet, it looks like. Hope to see her knock that down.
Yeah, I want to see Casey throw a good one here. You know, there's a couple tough breaks on the previous holes, and she made that nice putt. So if she can get this anywhere around the circle, she's kind of got that going for her right now. But leaves that a little short. Really not nothing, you know, tricky in her way or anything. She'll be able to make that.
Maybe if she's going to be super aggressive or just lay it up.
Soft and lumpy.
I can throw this disc around the world in one shot.
Never play disc golf too far into the jungle. There may be cheetahs.
Someone on your card can't recall if they threw a 6 or a 7. It was probably an 8.
See? Stay getting birdies, my friends.
Wear what the pros that film the pros wear. Savage Pro Tour Apparel. Full body dye sub technology. Sweat wicking polyester. lightweight Cirrus jersey, made in the USA. Are you savage? Wear what the pros that film the pros wear. Get yours today.
All right, well, we're back. Cassie had the shorter of the drives, or is Vanessa in bounds or out?
I think she was in bounds. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of discussion over there, and I think she just kind of took her meter off of there and lining this up.
Gives it a good run.
Ask for it to get down a little bit.
Yeah. Do you think she's going to go after this? She's going to pitch up?
Oh, I think she's going to run it. I think that was a run, honestly. She putted it pretty hard.
I'll give you the over-under on that one. So it looks like Sarah's out. Jessica has CTP on the hole. Just possibly a slight tester. Just make sure she gets a good wind read. She puts it in. That pitch putt, like you said, like she likes to bring it up a little bit high, drop it in. When clean, that's going to feel real good. Looking for Jessica to make this one.
Yeah, and that seems to be, kind of the trend for her right now. If she could be making these putts, she'd be right around even to 1 under, looking in really good scoring position. But I don't know if it's the wind. I don't know if maybe it's just her off day or something. But she needs to get that fixed on this back nine.
Yeah.
Into the last 11 holes or so.
Vanessa puts in for her par. She should be staying at 1 under. Hokom moves 2 under. Hole 8, par 4, 535 feet. It's got some stats of.
Yeah, 4th most difficult hole on the course. So this one's playing pretty tough. You're going to have a path at about 275 feet that actually plays as kind of a marker to,
your distance.
Yeah, if you can make it past that, you'll see these girls kind of throwing their approaches right over the pond. And the tricky part about this is not only do you have to clear that out of bounds pond, but you're going to be throwing at a high-rise basket. So distance control, for your second shot is going to be very, very important. And it's going to be very, very important to get yourself in position to kind of get around, that low ceiling from like a bunker tree that you see, and to have the height to be able to throw like kind of a touch approach into that green.
Yeah. You're going to want to get near the basket because of the elevation. It looks like it's a little windy out there, and so that's going to be key. Get that first shot into position.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like kind of a trend this year is the high basket, which are you a fan of it, or?
I'm okay with it. A few of them. It seems like at the Memorial we saw half the course was elevated, and I thought, I guess it just depends on course by course basis. If the course has a lot of elevation and a lot of natural terrain, I don't know if it's necessary on all of them, but some places we have to use them to bring the wind into play, I guess. We don't putt on putting greens. We don't have to read the way the ground rolls, so our challenge is to try and putt through something we can't see.
Sometimes we have to read the way it rolls. As long as it's on purpose.
For sure.
As we see Sarah actually checking the wind to see what she's got coming in down the slope. You know, this is definitely, you know, downhill a bit. But as we said, I think getting in position on this tee shot really makes the approach a lot easier. And then you're able to have a lot of touch kind of coming into that green on that high rise, which is the most difficult part about this hole, is going to be the putting, especially as we've seen this card kind of struggle on the putting greens. You know, it's a little bit windy, the winds are swirling, and you know, that could be a big problem on a tough green like this. So
yeah,
looks like she's in good position. And here's Vanessa, who seems really in control of her game. I mean, sitting at 1 under, no bogeys so far. So really, she's been able to keep it in bounds. And that's kind of been the theme for her this year, is really, you know, not taking a lot of big numbers, kind of keeping herself in the mix the whole entire time. And this has really been a stress-free round from her, aside from the, you know, the mistake of her missing that short birdie putt. I mean, she's been throwing it pretty well. And that's a big drive. She has nothing in the way. She's going to be able to throw, you know, hyzer approach into that green.
Probably with that side of the green also.
Yeah. And that's what you want from a tee shot right there.
She took on the first gap a little bit tighter compared to Hokom, who played wide in the open part of the sky to get under the bunker tree.
As we see, I'm guessing Jessica's going to take a similar line as Sarah there with wide. And that's taken on that OB. I'm not so sure. That was flipping pretty close to the OB line. Hopefully she didn't actually get it, you know,
right next to that.
That's going to be
I'm
close.
not sure if it stayed in or not.
That's close. If she's not out of bounds right there, she's in a good position.
Yeah. That puts her out of position. She's going to probably be looking to lay up from there. He said with that ceiling, it's going to really it would take something very special to get up and down.
Yeah.
For birdie. So she's left herself in a tough position.
Poison ivy ruins the best day outdoors.
Honey, careful. I saw poison ivy.
The rash is ugly, itchy, and spreads quickly. Zanfel's your answer. Skip nutty remedies and expensive visits to urgent care. When you get poison ivy, get Zanfel. No side effects. Safe for kids. Zanfel washes away the toxin that causes the itching rash. Complete relief. Zanfel lets the healing begin. Got poison ivy? Get Zanfel. It works.
Yeah, as Jessica gets in a position to see if she actually landed inbounds or out of bounds. We saw Casey actually throw it down the hill. You know, that layup that we were tight. Yeah, she'll be fine. A little easy approach into that green. As we see them all kind of get to their disc and ask who's in, who's out, who's up next.
Vanessa's got the most open of the shots, it looks like. in an excellent position, like you said, to attack from the right side.
I think the only thing she's really going to have to deal with, as we see Hokom's line up the standstill, which I wanted to note, when you're on a slant like that, it's tough to have a run up. So Hokom with the standstill sidearm takes it out wide. She's in bounds. That's a tough putt, though. You know, she's going to be 40, 45 past the basket.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to be running that putt.
No, not this early in the game.
This is a daunting shot right here.
It's she's going right at it. Is it high?
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Wow. What a shot.
I mean, she threw that as good as you could possibly throw it pretty much, and as we see the replay of it, lands pin high, takes a little bounce skip past the basket. She's still going to have
a tester putt.
Yeah, that's not easy. And it looks like they're going to have to make a call on whether she's in or out. Flags are kind of, you know, not a true line, it looks like from there. So, there's a true line, actually. Wow, that's close. What do you think?
It's going to be up to the group. You know, from our camera angle, it looks like that is in. But we're not standing over it.
Yeah, I think it's too close. It looks like. Yeah, they're going to give that to her, I think. I think benefit goes to the player. She's going to be happy to hear that if that is the case. And then she's going to have a little standstill sidearm, I'm guessing, into the green or backhand, whatever she decides is the better play for her. But I'm going to guess sidearm. What do you think?
Yeah, with the downhill off stance, getting a backhand to turn over or pull would be really difficult. It's easier to get a standstill sidearm, I think, with her play.
Hooks a little nose up. Perfect.
Very good.
Yeah, but then again, you know, that's not an easy putt. It gets a little breezy, and we've seen her struggle a bit this round with her putting. See if she'll be able to, you know, be a little more aggressive with that stroke and knock this one down. And another layup approach that's not, you know, it wasn't that good, honestly. You know, has this wide hyzer, but she had plenty of room to work with, yeah. As she's lining up the standstill. I mean, it's not really. Yeah, and that one leaks a little bit left. I mean, inbounds, but now she has decisions to make whether she's going to run that or not.
Yeah. You know, her layup shot initially probably was influenced by her previous shot, where she laid up and went OB and just maybe a little bit of nerves. Don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, we haven't seen her on very many featured cards, so
yeah. So I don't know.
That can be a nerve-wracking feeling for the first time, and you know, we have seen some really controlled tee shots from her, and that really great putt to save that double bogey on the par 5. So we know she's got the skills to turn this round, around and
just play clean.
Yeah, tack on a couple birdies down the stretch. What's Hokom gonna do? She looks like she's kind of pondering.
Yeah. It's really hard. You see a basket, you go, I putt. Like for myself, I putt high. I like high baskets. And she didn't even ponder that.
She looked at it, she kind of did this side like, no.
I don't like it. I'm going to lay up. Which is a wise decision. She's in good position right now. You don't want to get one away.
Are you running that putt?
I'll ponder it.
Yeah. What about this? I mean, this is circle's edge. So you're at the point where you think, I can't really lay this up. You know, 6 over par. She's well inside the circle. That was like half go.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it, but I don't want to go in the water.
Maybe if the storms come in, it'll lift it.
Yeah. And we saw that awesome approach by
She's going for it.
Yeah.
There's no way she's not. I really think that
There's one thing, you know, that we've seen from her is she has an aggressive putt. We saw a couple trays, we saw her miss high, we saw her knock a couple down.
But she's online.
Mm-hmm.
We only saw one where she missed just a little to the right.
She, you know, she missed a couple. She could be 4 or 5 down right now.
Yeah.
I think that landed safe, so I don't.
I see water ripples.
Oh no! Oh, jeez. I'm looking at the wrong. She putted that very hard to hit the chain and then still go into the water. But that'll show you how tough this green is. I mean, you can see she's looking straight up at the basket right there.
The basket's twice her height.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate boat, for sure. I mean, I was fully expecting her to make that.
I was also. That's She makes it.
Good birdie.
Yeah,
I'll give it a
yeah.
+2.
Took advantage of it being inbounds. Should take her to +2.
Yep. She's gonna rake that putter back out of the water as they tap in their short putts. Yeah, and hole 9, 301 feet, par 3, and this is coming in as 10th most difficult hole, so like right in the middle. You know, you're gonna see a couple, you know, a handful of birdies on the day, but mostly you're gonna see a lot of pars on this one.
Yeah, the OB is deep in the basket, about 32 feet. So just don't let it get away from you. And then they have a barn on the right-hand side that is OB on the roof.
Don't land on the roof.
Don't land on the roof.
Yeah, and I think the trick is just to have the distance control to come kind of right in front of that willow tree and put yourself in position to make a putt, which this card's kind of struggling to do right now. You know, you kind of get the feeling that it's kind of like a tense feeling is what I'm getting so far on this card, to where I think some of them are really nervous, and then once you get off to a bad start and you're over par on any course, especially somebody like Jessica Weese, as we see her being +2, she's the defending champion, you know? And when you get into that position, it's really hard to dig yourself out. You know, it takes a lot. And we're sitting here on hole 10. She just got a birdie to get back to +2, and we're seeing the leaders, you know, pushing that 5-6 under mark.
Yeah.
And I don't know if these girls are watching the scores at all, but if you see that, you know,
you're going to feel a lot more pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially for somebody who's used to being in contention and winning, you know, these tournaments. Like, let's see if they can come in on the back nine and make something happen.
Make some moves.
It was a good start from Jessica to get back on the right track, though, for sure. And that's the thing. She's been hugging the OB line the whole entire round. We saw her skip out of bounds on the first hole.
Yes.
And then we saw her roll out of bounds and then just get the safety call.
Right on the edge of everything.
Maybe this is the turning point to where.
That's a good break. It didn't.
Yeah. Last hole she's inbound. That hole.
There it is. Like that one. She turned it over a bit.
Yeah, not her best effort, but in position to get easy par. So
yeah,
it's not. This hole doesn't really have a lot of teeth, honestly. As long as you make it out the gap, you should be looking at par. A little short.
short. She's gonna have a struck with a tree, looks like that bush, possibly. Let's see if she can make a good move on the disc here, and she's got the distance to park this hole. It's a little bit high.
I like the height though.
Yeah.
You know, with that downhill, with the height will actually give you, you know, the distance that you need as she does. She puts it right at circle's edge or just outside. I want to see her. I want to see her run one of these.
Yeah. Sarah Hokom pitching under the basket, going to get her easy par. With her tee shot mistake, you know, kind of, she made the right mistake. She didn't go pushing the OB like Jessica did.
Jessica's going to be able to take a nice little meter off of this OB line and be right at circle's edge downhill. So it's playing a little shorter, you know.
Yeah.
You just saw her, you know, knock down birdie on the last hole. It would be really nice to see her make this. And you know she's going to run it. She's going to go to the knee. So it's easier for her to, you know, have the right height on this. And she's been going with this Anheuser putt. She's been a player that's kind of switched back and forth between Heiser, Anheuser, you know, kind of a lofty putt I've seen before. So she plays with her putt a lot. And that was a good run. Good height down the hill.
Yeah. Didn't take any major risk with going too far.
Yeah. As we see Casey line up this putt. Come on. Oh, good height on that one as well, but just didn't really hook up in time to, you know, to be able
to swing in and get it.
So we're going to see a bunch of pars on this hole. And I feel like that's typical for this hole, you know? It's kind of tough to get one all the way up there.
You have to throw a perfect shot over the bush between, or really swing your forehand around.
But because of the height, it's tough for them to get the distance, you know?
Exactly.
Over this way.
Now we're at hole 10, par 3, 393 feet. And yeah, we're going to have an OB pond kind of right next to the basket to the right. And that's about it. I mean,
that's about it.
Yeah, just straight down the hill all the way.
We're going to get to see them all really just throw the disc this time. You know, I don't know if they're going to have to worry too much about any of the OB coming into play on their first shot. This hole is laying at the 8th most difficult, though.
Cool, right in the middle.
Only 3% of the field has parked it.
That's a low percentage.
Yes, it is.
It's far, though. It plays far down the hill.
8% birdie.
as we see Sarah Hokom's caddy, Robin, there, helping her out, has the towel ready, doing his job as the caddy. You like having a caddy?
Yes. I had the privilege of having you on my bag this last weekend, and it was really a big help.
Trick question.
It is a trick question.
Good answer.
See how I followed through with the perfect answer?
Yeah. I wanted to hear, I absolutely loved it. I couldn't imagine not.
Let's redo it. Let's redo it.
Yeah, you see them having, caddy player discussion, which is one of the things that I like about having a caddy when I'm on the course is being able to discuss stuff with them. Some people that you'll play with don't really like to get themselves involved with discussions with other players and different things like that. And I'm a chatterbox sometimes. When I get in a groove, I really like to talk, keep my mind, kind of going and off of what's going on in between shots.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually one of the people who really like having a caddy.
Okay.
And all pars on the last hole. And here's Jessica lining up the sidearm down the hill. And she actually does have the power with the sidearm to get this one in position to at least have a putt. She doesn't really turn that one over, so she's going to be skipping down the hill to about, looks like 50 feet. It's going to be a tough run up the hill. It's going to play more like 70, 75 feet. And as we know, Sarah Hokom has a great sidearm, but this is playing far. I mean, her and Jessica are going to have to throw it absolutely perfect in order to get it down there at that distance, to have it look.
Even
Vanessa
though it's
as
downhill,
well,
the angles of all of it is tricky also. How's Vanessa's distance?
It's solid, I would put her a little bit above average as far as distance goes, and her game is putting and accuracy.
Control.
As we've seen through this round, she's made that one mistake where she was in position.
Shot.
Yeah, good shot. She probably wanted to turn it over a bit more than that, but I feel like we're going to see a lot of pars on this hole. But as I was saying with her game, the only mistake she really made was missing that putt on the high rise and going in the water. And that's a mistake we don't typically see from her. So without that, she's sitting at 2 under looking really good. And this, if this comes out, come on. Oh yeah, money.
She's got some sneaky distance in her.
Yeah.
She outdrove everybody on hole 1. That surprised us.
And she's got smooth form. Doesn't look like she's doing a lot with it, and it comes out with some nice, like you said. I like the control she has with it.
Today we'll be talking about the Nuke. The Nuke is a wide-rimmed, fast, maximum distance driver. When throwing on a wide-open course with the Nuke, I'm using it to unleash maximum backhand distance potential. Due to its slim profile and wide rim, the Nuke also fits really well in the hand when throwing sidearms. If I'm looking to throw down some boom sauce, I'm going with the Nuke. You can pick one up at Discraft.com or your local disc golf retailer.
We're on camera 3 right now with the second card.
Yeah, it looks like we got that one up in the air. Carrying nicely, a bit short right there. Looks like just kind of getting in position for the, easy kind of approach. And this second card, this second featured card is actually playing very well.
Yeah.
We have Katrina Allen at 5 under through 10 holes, and that's actually best in the tournament. But right behind her, we have Haley King at -4. And then right behind her, We have Paige Pierce -3, which is tied for third, along with Jennifer Allen. So that second card's really kind of
taking control.
Yeah, taking control of the tournament, which, you know, no surprise seeing, you know, Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen, Jennifer Allen, you know, being the best players in the world, obviously. And then, you know, Haley King, you know,
super talented.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You know, she reminds me of the FPO field, like maybe an Anthony Barella or something like that, to where, you know, we'll see some kind of maybe more sketchy rounds, but then we can also see her get those 5-6 birdies in a row, you know, as we come back to our featured card with Jessica lining up from 45 here. She's going to give this a bid. There's no trouble, you know, behind the basket, so I think she was trying to run that again.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure if we were to ask her, she would say, it's going hard. I can't tell you how many times I've been in that position and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run this hard, and then it just comes out right under the basket. So speaking of Haley, here she is with a little approach shot. One of the things that she has that I'm very impressed with is this right here. She has a lot of power on her putt and a lot of control. You see here at 60 feet right there, kind of, you know, running it hard.
That was a lot of movement, like a lot of speed on the disc and controlled angle.
Yeah, which is a tough thing to do, you know. As we see Paige kind of getting in position looking for her drive, which looks like about 20 feet down the hill, discussing who's out. And you can see the breeze kind of picking up. So this up the hill putt, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's way up there. As you can see, that was what I was worried about. And luckily there's a nice little barrier there from the log being able to stop her putt from rolling all the way into the water. But
yeah,
you can see the wind kind of pick up. You know, like the hole on the stump. This is twice as high as she is tall.
They put a lot more energy to get that up.
And that's a triple putt. We don't see that, you know. Typically, that's one of her strengths is putting inside the circle, putting outside the circle, and that's where she's been able to really separate herself along with her distance. Is just being able to run those long putts and have that consistency in the circle. So that's a surprising miss.
We have Kat at what looks like about 20 feet.
Yeah.
Because again, that air is swirly. She's about, the basket is just slightly below her. She's also been a very good putter in the past. And see if she can read the wind correctly on this one. She gets it.
And that's about as good as you can do right there. Good speed control, right on the stripe. That's going to be another birdie. She's pulling away kind of from the field right now.
Yeah.
As they're going to be tapping in, you know, here's Haley going to be tapping this one in from about 15 feet. Shouldn't be any big deal right here. And it was a big deal. So she misses that, maybe rushed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like she's going to take her meter from that OB right there and line this 20-footer up. Switching in between straddle and regular putt here.
Oh, you're going to get the shot.
She makes the right decision.
She gets it.
Yeah, very good putt. And that's the thing that I think we're kind of seeing right now is they're struggling with their putts, but I think one thing that we're not able to experience is how windy it actually is there. Like you can see the branches kind of moving and different things like that, and typically you don't see these short misses from the caliber of player that we're watching. I think that might have a lot to do with it.
Yeah. On a hill, the trees are causing the air to swirl more right around the basket.
Yeah.
You're not certain if it's going to lift or drop.
Lovely wind.
Coming back up to the tee, our feature group of Hokom, Dyken, Weese, and Glade. So far, what we just saw on the green there, what do you expect next, Paul? The green is a little tricky. Off stance putts, forced because of the hill. OB with the water.
Yeah, the one thing I really saw on the watching the previous card is Katrina and Paige actually made it to the circle. So it's totally doable. I'm not sure what the power they're going to have to use, but obviously the preferred route's going to be backhand into that slope. And getting up over these, there you go, right there. She's going kind of straight. If she misses that, that's going to be tough, you know?
It's a testy angle.
But it looks like the tree right in the middle right there, you know,
yeah,
is kind of like...
It forces your hand.
Yeah.
It forces you to not be comfortable with the tee shot.
And this is a tough shot right here. Sidearm into this green, sloping straight down to the water. You have to have perfect angle control as we see her flex this one. And that one's going to be safe, I mean.
It's short. It's short.
You hear they're calling it short. She wanted something a little bit different out of it, but again, she made the correct mistake. I'm going to make when you keep it away from the water, especially with her forehand.
This is a shot that I see Vanessa, you know, on the previous hole. She's been throwing that flip up to late turn, and that's what you need on this hole. Something that when it gets into the green is going to be kind of soft. So if she wants it, she can get it there for sure. That one just doesn't flip enough for her, and she's going to be over there by Hokom.
Yeah. It's going to be a somewhat tricky approach because of the shape of the green, because the angle of the hill, the way the grass right there, it looks a little bit more choppy than some of the other parts of the fairway, so it can cause your putter to grab and roll. We'll see how they handle that.
And that is good. Yeah, and it can catch a nice little roll if it hits the slope just a little bit short, so she's not going to be able to catch the roll.
She didn't get super aggressive with it, but she played the right angle.
And that's kind of what we saw from the previous hole as well. Two people were short and had to throw those layups, and then, you know, two people were on the green, so.
Slippery paper.
Here we're on the tee with the second group. We're going through this gap here. You've got to make the gap and then go into a tight green.
Yeah.
Where there's OB around it nearby.
And it looked like Haley threw it absolutely perfectly. I think what you're wanting to do is get around that and swing it left and into position, like you said, kind of going into an island green there. Those were pretty good tee shots, honestly. Yeah, and so it looks like Katrina actually might have thrown this one out of bounds, and she's sitting at the drop zone here, maybe missing the island, just kind of pitching it up for bogey. And it's going to be disappointing, especially with the start that she's had so far. You know, she's leading the tournament, and it looks like we're going to have another going from the drop zone and probably just laying these up, you know. I mean, this is makeable for sure, but I think we remember last year Paige Pierce actually making this drop zone putt. Oh, and
right off the tray.
Run. Yeah, right off the tray. That was very well executed. As we see Sarah lining up her layup as she's looks like trying to go Anheuser to maybe match the slope of the green. The only thing that's tough about this is it's easy to land short when you do the Anheuser because gravity kind of pulls you down. So let's see. Yeah, and she looked like she was trying to go over the bush and kind of dropped. And oh boy.
No.
Curls.
Man. That was a close call.
And we're back on the... Yeah, here's Haley King lining up from about circle's edge. And there's that smooth putt that I was talking about. Even though she misses, I like the rhythm. The height was good. You know...
She had the speed to hit it, to make it, to break the chains.
Just a really, really, really smooth putt.
Yeah, Paige lining up now from a similar distance, probably just inside of her.
And we definitely saw Paige just miss on the last hole. And everybody seems to be struggling with their putts, you know, from circle's edge just inside, right around 20 feet. I think a lot of it has to do with the swirly winds. First round, you know, everybody's kind of jockeying in the position of the tournament, getting a good feel for what's going on in the tournament. And Haley's got a...
She cleans it up nicely. We're back to Sarah. She's going to have another tricky putt. Getting low. I think you're right. You know, when the air is moving like that, it's really difficult to want to put the disc high. She's lining up from the knee. The basket is well below her feet. Do you like going from the knee?
No, I'm actually prefer standing up, and the only time I'm ever really going for a knee is if I'm going to throw a sidearm approach or something like that. I'd rather switch to like a push putt to where I'm kind of dragging on the ground. I don't know. I've just never been really comfortable. I know a lot of people who are and who like to do it. Because you're more basket height and things like that. But I've just never been fond of it. Maybe we just didn't practice it a lot, you know.
I think so.
She needs to make this. Runs the putt kind of down the hill. She's been playing a pretty smooth round. It's just that the mistakes she's been making is honestly on layups, you know.
Yeah.
And that's a product of nerves, I believe. You know, to where that typically you're playing a practice round and it's really easy to kind of throw in out of position and then lay it up, and then you're kind of you don't really think about it. But when you get into the round and you get a bit nervous, those layups become tougher, and then 20-footers become longer.
Nessa's really focused, and she makes it. She makes good. Once again, keeping it clean. As far as we can tell, that's a... You know, she got herself in a position up the hill. She got herself in a position just above the basket and focused and made. Going into hole 12, we just watched the featured card play from there. So again, we're going to have to make this gap into an island green. It is.
Yeah, you're going to want to play. Yeah, you're going to want to play the tight gap, and you got to be careful because you go a little bit too far and you're out of bounds. So as soon as you get through the gap, you want to make it left, and then you'll have about, I would say, right around 200 feet into this green. Really the tough thing is going to be making the initial grab, of course, and then having some touch going into the, you know, obviously the green there. And we saw some people have some struggles with it. We saw Katrina actually going from the drop zone, so mistakes can be made on this hole. We'll see how this card. I feel like the most important thing is definitely making the gap on the first shot, and then making that approach kind of easier. You know.
We saw that Paige and Kat were off. Well, not Paige. It was Paige was off to the left side of that green, and so she obviously made the gap, but probably was inside her shot just a little bit from the park drop. So I think that we're going to be looking for them to make the gap. You really have to be at the right hyzer angle to even park it.
And this is coming in as the 6th most difficult hole, so it's, you know, it's no cakewalk.
I got scores.
The good news is if you do miss and you go out of bounds on, let's say, your approach, the drop zone's fairly easy and it's makeable. You know, so the mistakes, you're not gonna.
It's not gonna compound.
And exactly, you're not gonna be staring at like triple bogey or something like we've seen island holes in the past.
Yeah. This one has progression forward. You just really want to focus and get your tee shot.
Yeah, and it looks like they might just be kind of taking their time, you know, discussing a few different things, and looks like actually Sarah was looking in her notebook, maybe you get a distance or something like that.
Figure out exactly where the OB lines are, where the rules are. We saw her walk forward and take a peek.
Thank you to all the volunteers this weekend. We see a volunteer carrying the scorecard right there. Obviously, we really appreciate everybody who's volunteering. We see Jessica laying up. She's asking for that to get down. And we're getting a green flag from there, and she'll have an approach right there into there. So I actually like that play, you know, taking a little bit off the disc and making sure to have some sort of look into the green there. That was well executed. Looked like a putter or something. I think we're going to see Vanessa be a little bit more aggressive and kind of get through the gap and swing left, though.
Just inside.
And she goes for the island.
Wow, she comes right over the basket.
What a shot.
Right near it.
Yeah, what a shot. That was a great shot.
She's hitting her lines well today.
And I pictured a lot of them actually playing the way Jessica did and kind of laying up. But then we see Vanessa get very aggressive, which typically isn't her style, you know, but she makes good and gets on the island. She'll be putting for birdie.
Let's see what Sarah decides to do here.
Sarah's definitely going
aggressive.
For it.
She catches the tree, waiting for a call from the spot.
Yeah, it might have been a go for it layup.
She gets the red, so she's gone out of bounds.
Yeah, she just kind of had like a little bit too much height. You saw her catch the foliage there, and that's a tough shot for a sidearm coming in through that gap. You know, you really have to push the right side to make the gap bigger, and she just pulls it a little bit.
She goes for it.
This looks perfect.
Oh man.
That's it. Oh, money.
Oh, good.
Yeah, great shot.
Good shot.
I'm Matt Paxton, extreme cleaning expert from TV's Hoarders. People turn to me when they have big challenges. When it comes to making commercial and office buildings look their best, big jobs require big help. When you need your cleaning services to keep your employees working in a professional environment, you can count on the Service Master Clean experts to get the job done with consistent, thorough, and absolutely reliable service every time. Service Master Clean, where the experience matters.
It looks like Sarah was clean.
So this is okay, I can take relief off of
If
it?
so, that means she's just going to get up and down for her 3.
Well, I want to throw this disc. So.
Yeah, it looked like she kind of hit those branches and knocked down, but two-sided paddle, we saw red. They saw green.
Get it.
Our mistake.
Oh my God.
One of the typical mistakes we make over here in the booth. We can't see what they see. But
Weese once again pushing the OB. Barely being inbounds.
Yeah, she's been living on the edge for sure. She's been pushing those OB lines. A couple of them have gone her way though. She's going to be able to tap in for easy par, which is something I feel like you want on this hole. You know, island hole. Easy to bogey for sure. As we saw Sarah, you know, catch a really great break hitting that branch.
Yeah,
I don't know if she
off
gets
the
clean,
disc.
if that's actually going to make the island or not, but.
Let's see if she can capitalize. She played the aggressive shot. Went for the green. And she gets it. She finally cashes a big one.
Yeah, this is awesome. Let's see the replay. Good commitment, good power, no wobble, and that's going to be her first birdie of the round. Couldn't have come at a better time. And hopefully that gives, you know, Vanessa a little bit more confidence knowing that, you know, she's got a good line on it now. It looks like I can see that Discraft banner in the back kind of moving to straight tailwind. So as long as she gets some height on this, I mean, good things can happen. As
She gets it.
Does.
Just over the rim.
2 people making the island.
2 people getting birdie.
Yeah, 2 people getting birdie.
That's good to see. You're at the replay.
Right off the tray and right in.
We're tapping out on hole 12. Let's go over to hole 13.
Yeah, hole 13. Par 3, 329 feet. We see Haley step up to the tee pad, and she'll give us a really good indication of how this hole's playing right now. Oh, and she gets that a little bit too high, hits the branch, pushes out to the right. Doesn't look like she went out of bounds, but definitely a mistake you don't want to make. As you see, it's just basically as straight as you can possibly throw a disc.
Go straight 300 feet. We got a little branch that comes down off this oak. That's got to make it tricky. Cat really gets on it right there, and she's asking for it to set.
That looks good. That looked good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, it's kind of sloping from right to left. So if you get a little too much hyzer on it, you can leak left into that wooded tree line right there. And once you get over that ridge, it's playing downhill a bit. So you have to have speed control as well. And this is a nice shot right here.
Just controlled right at the middle.
Yep.
Not trying to bite off too much, not bringing any OB into play.
Perfect shot. Looks like exactly what she was drawing up.
I see. We were just talking about hole 14, where the second card had been playing. We're now on hole 13. 329 feet.
which honestly is pretty similar to the last hole as far as
very
as
similar.
far as tee shots go. You have that low ceiling kind of branch kind of blocking them, and that looks to be really what's going to be tough with this hole is you see left and right being out of bounds. You want to throw your straightest disc, and this is going to leak a little bit left. Hopefully she can carry most of the fairway, and that is pushing that OB line, but it looks to be safe.
Yeah. She'll have a low under the branches approach from there. Weese is coming in and
catches that same branch. This needs help. Come on.
She's in bounds.
And just like we were talking before, really hugging those OB lines, man. That one, it seems like on this back nine, though, she's been catching the good side of those out of bounds lines and keeping it in bounds there. Here's Sarah. This looks absolutely perfect. The best tee shot of the group so far, and that's going to be Circle's Edge looking at birdie.
Yeah. That really played to her strength also, the way the tee shot opens up.
Hey girl, that was like 280.
Yeah, as they approach the green, we see, we watch Vanessa throw her up shot and, hits that high branch, but knocks down safe and then throws pretty good approach. And Jessica going to have to do the same, playing that OB line as we've seen on the front nine and, leaking into the back nine. She's playing aggressive.
Sorry, Casey,
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm right here.
Jessica's marking her lie. Her approach is somewhat obstructed by, some of the trees on what would be her right. Her Anheuser putt she's been doing can get to the basket if she gets aggressive with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, not much she can do from there, with that low ceiling.
Yeah.
She makes a pretty good bid at it, but, easy par. On a hole that's actually not playing that easy, especially with all the OB everywhere, that low branch, the wind, everything like that. There's not going to be a lot of birdies on this hole.
We've seen 23% birdie on the hole, so not a super high percentage.
Casey lining up this approach as well. Good.
That's well done.
And now here's really the only birdie chance we had on the card is Sarah walking up, and this is a really great drive. She's going to be right outside the circle. The only thing I'm worried about is she's looks like she's checking her stance. Might be a little bit muddy.
Yeah.
She doesn't like that. And then the other thing is, she likes that high push putt for her jump putt, and she's not going to be able to do that as well. So we might see her switch to the spin putt. she's one of the better putters from just outside the circle when she can line up that, push jump putt. Yep, and there's that spin.
Yeah, you can see her looking at the ground. It sounded like she slipped a little too.
I don't know.
Yeah, tough lie.
Yeah, it's always a bummer when you throw a really good tee shot and you get up there, and your putt is just that awkward stage, whatever it is. Like sometimes if you're an Anheuser putter, you get there and there's like a little branch in your way and you have to switch to a hyzer, or if it's right at that distance that you've been struggling at the whole day, you're like, dang, I thought I was closer than that, and that's always tough. We've seen that actually happen to her 2 times today, where she had to just outside the circle putt, and we see Vanessa knock that one down. But when you're at that, we've seen her at that kind of awkward distance to where she had low ceiling and she couldn't do,
what she really wanted to do.
Yeah.
She had to really get aggressive with the Anheuser and push a lot harder than at a lower angle that she left to release that. She gets
Taps
up and
that
down
one,
now.
yeah.
Casey's going to tap out also. Go through with our formalities.
And every time that we tap out and we move to the next card, we get to watch Haley King tee, and that one looked really great. So it seems like we're on the same pace, which is good. Thank you, cameramen, for always being in great position. And that was a smooth kind of putter approach that she had there. Let's see if the rest of the card can also do something similar. And I lost sight of that one, but it looks like it's leaking a bit left. If she catches a good break in those left bushes, she can definitely have a putt.
Oh, you want finger gel? You want finger gel? Okay, hole 13. Well, all 3? Yeah.
I want to thank the PDGA for always taking care of us in the disc golf world. Disc Golf Pro Tour for such amazing events throughout the season. What's your favorite event of the year, Paul?
Favorite event of the year? It differs. I actually really like the Ledgestone. I think it provides great courses for all divisions. Great playing fields, obviously. I mean, you have the best players in the world at this event each time, and the staff is amazing. They're able to accommodate, almost, I think, probably over 1,000 people.
Wow.
through the weekend. So their crew just does an amazing job. As we watch Vanessa line up this shot,
That
and
looks
this looks
really good.
absolutely perfect. She doesn't want that skipping left, but that's money. And there's no OB line right there, I believe, once you get past that first initial spot. So that's in great position, honestly.
I think she'll be all right there. She's got it low.
Yeah, and the thing about this one is she's in bounds.
Yeah.
But the basket is actually almost 90 degrees to the left. So we see Vanessa kind of get around the corner. I think she's going to have a pretty easy approach into the green for birdie. But Casey left it a bit short. That's going to be tough, And this is a typical play as well, as if you can get it to the right side, it really opens up that high line into the into the basket there.
She looks to be in really good position right there. See if Hokom can follow suit.
Yeah, she needs a skip, and she calls for it, and that's pretty good. I was worried about her kind of getting into that bush as she's kind of trying to get a good position here. getting into some sort of stance. You can see she's gonna have to go to a knee there. And then not only does she have to go to a knee, now she's, you know, gonna be putting at this high rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd didn't think I could put it inside.
The trees aren't really moving a lot. They're moving, so we know that the air is not too difficult at the moment. Wow, what a good putt.
Yeah, that was
from the knee, out of a bush. Excellent putt for bird.
So we see Paige walk by a bit and then have similar distance, but not an obstructed lie. And we've seen, you know, from previous holes that she kind of struggled with the putter a little bit with a 3-putt, and now
there was that wind. You could see the trees really moving as she went.
And one thing that we've noticed about Paige is she's kind of sped up her putting routine this year a bit, that I've noticed. The last couple tournaments, kind of, you know, in tournaments past, she really takes a long time, but I see that she's been speeding up a bit. And another 3-putt though. That's not what we're used to seeing from Paige.
No, not at all. She's frustrated. So.
And here's Jessica playing that skip shot. Not really a skip shot, playing that touch shot into the green. It looks like she made the fairway very wide by going to the right side there, and able to really take advantage of that with a drop-in birdie now.
Yeah.
This card's running out of holes, honestly. You know, we see Jessica at +2. She's going to go to +1 now, but that's not the score that she was looking for before this round started. So
yeah,
if she could string a lot of these birdies together, you know, finishing the round,
yeah,
she won't be too far back. But she really needs to.
She really needs to pull it together and nail them down. Looks like they were just discussing Vanessa's lie. I believe they called it good.
I don't have pockets today.
Does Vanessa have a forehand?
I think at this level they all have some sort of forehand, you know, but it's definitely not her preferred shot because we don't see her take that very often. But as you know, even yourself, you know, you're predominantly a backhand player and you would rather throw, you know, putter into the green, but it's a good call because it looks like she might be, no, she's
wanting to go preferred style.
Mm-hmm. But all of us have it if we need it.
Yeah.
You know, we just don't want to need it.
That was a good shot.
Yeah, that's fine.
She leaned on her strength. I didn't try to get too tricky with it, and she's gonna have a good result with that.
Yeah, she was really aggressive on her drive, and it paid off because even though she was in the bush right there, she was able, you know, she's only 60 feet, so she's able to just kind of pitch out and have an easy approach, even though that lie was kind of difficult.
Casey running at it.
Good height, but a little bit left.
She didn't have the aggressive putt at it like she did on the island hole.
Yeah, yeah.
The island hole, she really let the disc have it. And Hokom on her approach hit the high branches and fell to here. So this is for her 3.
And it looks like she's actually going to be able to do her preferred putting style. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I can't really see above her. She might have a low ceiling again and not able to, you know, do that push jumper. It looks like she's having to do the spin putt again. Nope, she goes for the push. And she's, you know, she's obviously frustrated. This is one of the easier holes on the course for her because she can really rely on that sidearm to push it right and then have that easy approach in. And like you said, she just barely catches those high branches, and she's going to let this one kind of slide through. And that's disappointing for her, obviously.
Like you said, we're running out of holes for them to really put themselves on top for this round. There's a lot of holes left to play in the event.
Yeah, and you see Vanessa and Hokom really kind of hanging around that 1 down to 2 down even spot. And that's what I was thinking at the beginning of the round. If you could shoot something around that number, you were going to not be too far. You're going to be within striking distance. And as we've seen in the the FPO field, typically in the past, is we see a lot of movement in the cards, you know?
Yeah.
There's strokes to be had for sure.
Hole 15, we have a par 3, 230 feet. OB behind the basket about 40 feet away. 185 feet to the left is a group of bushes and trees that you just don't want to get tangled up with. So their preferred shot is looking like a left to right moving shot. And then we have elevated basket. So probably ending up right side of the basket is key. Depends on what direction the wind is blowing to get yourself possible in position for a tailwind putt on an elevated basket. So elevated basket with the Disc Golf Pro Tour logo on it. Kids Disc Golf. All the partners for the Disc Golf Pro Tour helping put these events on. What an amazing show we get to play.
Yeah, speaking of kids disc golf, you know, through the weekend coming up, if you have kids, they're usually pretty big fans of these awesome players and awesome professionals. Go out and support them. Bring your kids. They'll love to see their favorite players on these featured cards and be able to watch them, you know, play really well, get into position and stuff. And typically we see some big crowds out here it's always nice to see the younger generation watching the best players. I remember when, you know, I was 16, 17, my dad taking me to the memorial and me being able to watch my favorite players. And, you know, that really got me hooked. So bring your kids out and
come support these women playing disc golf.
Absolutely.
Come support the event. Saw Vanessa throw her shot. It looked like it wasn't exactly what she wanted.
Big Anheuser. And this is holding nicely. I mean, that's really good shot. She outdrives the hole a bit right there, but that flight was beautiful. Just outside the circle now, playing that OB line as close as she possibly can. But,
it was the preferred flight of the disc. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. You know, Jessica actually comes from Grass Valley, California. And that super tight wooded holes. So that's where you see her, you know, able to throw not only the forehand very good, as we see Casey kind of do the same. It needs to sit, and that one's too far. That one's going to be out of bounds. But you see Jessica have all the shots, really, you know, from sidearm to backhand. And then she shows us she has touch turnover as well right there. I mean, she's got it all. And, you know, probably one of the main reasons why she, you know, is a defending champion of this tournament. As we see Hokom line up with the high kind of stall shot. She's just trying to play it to about circle's edge. What a beautiful roll. Yeah.
Should be looking at an elevated putt.
And
like they all will.
Yeah, that can get her to 2 under, which is, you know, it's going to be, if they can manage to come out of this round at 2, you know, even to 3 down, you know, that's going to be a really good round in good position.
Yeah.
I can throw this disc around the world in 1 shot.
Never play disc golf too far into the jungle. There may be cheetahs.
Someone on your card can't recall if they threw a 6 or a 7. It was probably an 8.
See? Stay getting birdied, my friends.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Jones. I'm here with my brand new Prodigy BP3 V2 backpack. And I'm loving this thing a lot. It's extremely lightweight. It's carrying all the discs I could ever ask for. It's pretty sturdy and durable. I've got my 2 putters up here, no problem. Room for a towel if need be. It's really lightweight, it's extremely efficient. And for all you, it's extremely affordable. So come check it out.
We just saw Vanessa throw her up shot. She was far enough away off her tee shot. We saw the disappointment on her face when just after she threw it. So she's laid up. She'll be looking at a 3. Jessica, who has pushed the OB lines today,
the whole round,
every hole it's about, is once again near OB, safe. Let's hope she can capitalize on this putt and get her back to even.
Looks like they're discussing where Casey threw it out of bounds at. Jessica giving her a nice line on it. Well, that seems about right. It looks like it's kind of tough for them to see, you know, once it gets past that basket around the corner, where exactly that she crossed in and then out of bounds at. And and Sarah's just making sure that, you know, they're playing the hole correctly. So go. Oh, good putt.
See, she had more power put on that one.
Yeah, a little more velocity for sure.
She had committed.
I think it was maybe the high rise too, you know, knowing that she had to pop it pretty good to get up there.
If Jessica hits this, she'll go to even for the round, and that puts her right back in the game.
Absolutely, yeah. This is big time.
She's still close enough. Should be a fairly easy up and down for her par.
Yeah, Jessica's really put herself in position to score this round. She got off to a slow start with those 2 double bogeys, but since then she's really been pushing herself in the circles and giving herself putts and, you know, making good on a couple of the opportunities. But as we see Hokom line up this for birdie. And
Hokom cashes for birdie.
And this is the tie for, you know, best round so far on our card here at 2 under with Vanessa.
We said before, that's right in contention with what's going on our other cards. Vanessa cashes that in to remain at 2 under. Casey's going to tap out also. That'll add 1 more to her over for the round.
At hole 16, par 3, 352 feet. And this is bordering like about as far as a lot of the these FPO players can throw, you know. So we'll see Sarah throwing sidearm to try to get underneath that branch and over there to the right to get in position for birdie, and obviously Jessica. But this is far, you know. This is going to be an all-out throw for everybody on the card, which is making this a really difficult 2. Now, not really that difficult par. All you got to do is kind of get it past that fork tree with the branch kind of hanging off of it and right around that stump. You get anywhere past that, you're looking at a pretty easy par.
Yeah.
But definitely a tough birdie.
It is that branch that's hanging down that makes this hole on the edge of their being able to reach it also. Because they wouldn't be able to get the disc up high to flex it. Well, we had a view of Terry Miller right there.
Yeah, and so far through all the cards that have played this hole, only 2 twos on the whole entire day. So
okay.
Definitely playing as a tough get, but then we're looking down and we're only seeing, you know, a handful of bogeys, 1 double bogey. So
yeah.
It's really that 3 that everybody's kind of looking for and getting. Obviously, everybody wants to birdie the hole, but the distance, I feel like, and the way the hole's shaped is, I think Sarah and Jessica are going to have the best opportunities for that.
Yeah.
She throws a perfect shot, still about, you know, 10 feet outside of circle 1. So we're seeing that this hole's playing far.
This one not having much OB other than the trees and the bushes you don't want to go into. So it's really just key of putting it in position. she gets a turn on it.
Yeah, if that could have held just a little bit more, you know, that could have gotten right around circle 1. But
yeah,
she's going to be sitting at about circle 2, 60 feet, and at easy approach. You know, just like I said, once you get past that kind of that stump in the middle, we're going to be seeing a lot of pars. Jessica turns that over, and she's going to end up right around, you know, circle 1. Wow, that's our best shot of the round. She keeps putting herself in position for birdie, but the putt's been kind of off today. Maybe, you know, maybe she'll be able to line that one up and knock it down.
Be a big turnaround.
And Casey's been throwing the disc off the tee fairly well, honestly. And look at this.
You passed it?
Oh! And like I said, she's been throwing the disc fairly well. Her mistakes have been on her approaches, not really even with the putter. We've seen her, and as you know,
very good pull through. She's got a clean pull through. She throws hard, and that's an excellent shot, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, she was meaning to go a little bit left of that tee shot, but she's able to sneak through that right gap, and we all know how great that feels when you pull it just a little bit, but you're able to get through and get in position for birdie. As we take a look at the scores right now, you know, Katrina's still hanging strong, -6 under.
Paige is at 4. Haley King at -4.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of under par scores, which, you know, at the beginning of the round, I said I wasn't sure what the field was going to shoot.
But I like top 10 is all setting under par.
Right. And even, you know, our cards struggled a little bit on the greens, but we see Sarah, Vanessa all making their way into the top 10. So still in plenty position to score very well. And Jessica actually has a putt from just outside the circle to get back to even, you know, which is 2 strokes out of the top 10. So they're all kind of right there. As Vanessa lines up for her approach. Yeah, 2 under is looking pretty good. She gives that one a bid. But she's, you know, hanging around 15 feet, tapping it in. I think she's really trying to pad that score. I think probably, you know, a lot like I said earlier at the beginning, 2 even to 3 down is a great looking score.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a long putt for a jumper.
I would love to see Jessica just knock this down, you know, because we've seen her early on with the 2 double bogeys, and then she's really grinded to get to, you know, +1 and had putts on almost the last 3 holes to get, you know, back to even.
So close.
Just a bit low, but here's the thing. If she keeps doing that the whole entire weekend and giving herself opportunities right around Circle Z to just inside the circle, one of the rounds she's going to start making.
Yeah.
And then if she starts making those, we're seeing, you know, that's going to equal, you know, a 5-6 down
birdie right there.
5-6 down score. As we see Casey line up and knock down the only birdie, and that's the 3rd birdie on the round. That's how hard this is playing as far as birdie goes.
Excellent. Capitalize on it.
Casey's Casey's actually putted, I think, the best on the card so far today, making a couple long ones, and so it's nice to see her get that birdie, and yeah,
for sure.
the first run IPA.
Come visit us at Bend. You'll get fresh beer. You'll get some hospitality, and I guarantee you'll either see Val, Justin, or I.
As fresh as you can get it, right here.
When I need to check the wind, I just let out my hair.
Disc golf is 90% mental. The other 10% also mental.
If you want to make new friends on the course, pick up someone's disc in the fairway by accident.
Stay getting birdies, my friends.
Hi guys, I'm Alyssa Van Lannen. You've probably seen me hiding in front of the tee pad or laying in the bushes trying to get the best shot. For the best moments in disc golf on and off the course through my photos and videos, check out patreon.com/Alyssa Van Lannen.
What do you think flatness and stiffness on this?
Somewhat flat, neutral stiffness. Danny, this is a sick one.
Dude, I gotta get through all these today.
Cheers to a good day, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Yeah,
That's good.
It's a hard day.
That's great.
I won't sell my discs then. I always try and get.
What do we got here,
If
Pete?
you want it, then pay for it. If you don't want to pay for it, then I'll take it.
Oh, the second card on the green of 17.
As we see somebody putt out from the bush on the right, caught a lot of high right change, but unable to stick. I'm not sure who that was.
Crazy how much people will pay for plastic. I know. I charge 30 shit.
I do too. For my custom stamps.
And here's Sarah lining up from about 20 feet.
What about that one that Paul Uliberry sold for like $1,200?
Yeah. Simon sold. Andrew Zimmer.
And here it is. She's really taking her time.
Yeah.
He bought Simon.
She cashes it.
Yeah, nice putt. You know, I like how she really took her time. That's one thing we've seen on the previous card is, or the card that, you know, is featured here live is them kind of rushing it a bit and really not taking all the wind into effect and kind of struggling. She takes her time and knocks it down.
Paige puts it in from a knee.
Yeah, and she
said she is going a little faster than the normal pace I've seen in the past also.
She's one of the players as well that on any slope you'll see her go to a knee, and she's you know, become very good at that, tapping in even from 10 feet, 15 feet right there. And this will just be formality for Katrina tapping in, and then it must have been Haley coming from the bush over there that caught high right chains and unable to stick, but slams it in with a little
dunker.
Yeah. And she, you know, she started off really hot and then really slowed down, you know, coming down the stretch. As they walk off, yeah, you know, Haley had that really quick hot start and then really just kind of slowed down. Hopefully, you know, moving forward in the next few rounds, she'll know, okay, I can have these hot starts, and then as long as I just kind of hold it together, you know, on the back nine or something, you'd be able to really manufacture a really great score. Like I said, she reminds me a lot of Anthony Barella with the skills that she has in, you know, in this FPO division. There's a good shot by Casey right there, who puts it right there in the middle with a nice birdie on the last hole. That was awesome, sneaking through that right.
Sarah's shot shape. It's going over towards OB, but she's going to fade it right back into the middle of the fairway. This hole bends left to right at the end of the fairway, so get themselves in position off the drive to be able to work around that corner.
Yeah, like you said, I think it really favors Sarah Hokom's eye with it, the way that she's able to work that sidearm from left to right. As we see Vanessa line up and
plays it low. She's keeping it safe.
Yeah, that's fine. Honestly.
Very good. Yeah, she makes sure to not go high, not to bring the OB on the left into play. Very controlled.
Yeah. I'm guessing Jessica's going to throw this near out of bounds somewhere.
And once again, your over is off.
0 for 3. Dang it. She actually decides to throw that one directly in the middle of the fairway, which is good to see. She really needs to, you know, throw this up shot close, get to even par, get within striking distance.
Yeah.
And then maybe get one on 18. If we see her somehow manufacture a way to get under par today, I mean, job well done. I think she'd be happy walking off the course. Yeah.
She's had, I mean, 1, 2, 3 birdies. She's been playing very well.
Yeah, giving herself lots of opportunities. Just, you know, the putter's been cold. And I said earlier today a couple of minutes ago that Casey threw it in the middle of the fairway, but it actually kind of leaked right, and it has you know, a couple down logs, a low ceiling for a run up. We see that mandatory right there at the corner. She has to get around that, so.
Yeah, she's got a tough shot coming up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's going to decide to do. I haven't seen her throw sidearm yet, so I'm not sure if that's even an option.
I'm assuming
these branches
she's going to
kinda
just
out of-
play up to that corner and possibly take her medicine. Bending around the corner is a very difficult shot.
Yeah, she struggled with that, you know, today, though, kind of the layup shot and not playing, you know, to the right spots, the right layups. She puts plenty of power on that one, though. That's a really good shot. That'll be just fine.
Yeah.
She really took her time with her lie, and that's something that the viewers can watch at home and see, you know, these really great players. When they get into tricky situations, I like how they take their time.
Yeah, they don't rush into.
Right.
I would throw it
Even if there's like a little pine cones or little rocks underneath your feet, and it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It is so important to make sure you clear those off, just to give you that comforting feeling, because you know your run up is really what pushes that disc out, you know, where you want it.
Yeah.
As Hokom and Robin decide, you know, how she's going to play this, if she's going to play it aggressively.
She's just behind where the drop zone is, so she's got room.
And normally when you see a drop zone, obviously we don't have a shot of the hole yet, but when you see a drop zone, it's usually placed in a spot where you can get up and down. So I think she has a shot into this green, as she does, and it's tucked in there, as you can see. It's tucked in there pretty good. It looks like she just caught the left side, just misjudged the distance a little bit. And this is when I just really want to see Jessica, you know, make the correction from what Sarah just did. She's going to throw a sidearm in there as well. She sees Sarah go a little bit deep and not kind of cut it in there.
She knows to really...
Yeah. And she needs this birdie. I'm telling you, this would be nice.
It's got an angle.
I do like this a bit better. Almost, you know. It's tough. It's hard for them to get around that corner right there.
Because it drops off also. So if you crest it too high, it runs away from you.
And you asked if Vanessa has a sidearm. And I'm telling you this right now. She wouldn't be choosing to throw this right now if she didn't. It came out pretty good, but a little bit too straight. I'm not sure if she was actually... if that was a layup or if she was thinking, okay, yeah, if I hit it right,
I get a trickle down there,
maybe I get a trickle or something. But it didn't come out with wobble. It came out with a lot of control, yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that Sarah's disc is not a golf cart.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jessica's disc was maybe a little confused whether it was or not, so it stopped right before the sign. No? Okay. As we see Casey getting position here, she throws the layup, and now she has, I'm guessing, kind of a straight shot right down the hill. And this is going to be tough because, as we saw, it's a steep drop off in a small gap. So she's going to have to display a lot of touch, and she throws this down there.
From our angle,
I liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of little layups here. I think Hokom's going to have to straddle out from where she is and throw like a little sidearm approach, and Vanessa's just going to throw it into that little embankment right there and get a pretty easy par. Yep.
That's good.
Very good. Match the angle of the hill nicely. There's no chance for it to roll away.
Me first?
Sarah's going to come in here and check out what she's looking at, figure out an angle. I guess Jessica ended up in the same place.
Yep, just a bit, you know, to the right, and I think she was trying to play a skip shot in there, and I think one of the things that we failed to mention was the grass is thick. We're not seeing a lot of skips kind of come around that corner right there, or at all.
Yeah.
As you see her throw sidearm approach, and that's impressive to be able to throw sidearm approach downhill at only circle's edge to display touch
with
like that.
super soft touch.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking like she's going to try and shove it through a little gap here, and she's debating.
Yeah, I think she might decide to just kind of putt it to the right side, end up kind of where Vanessa's disc is there that we can see in the corner.
Thinking about the forehand also.
Oh, and if she's thinking sidearm here, I think she's thinking maybe give it a little bit, honestly.
That could be. You can float it onto there.
Mm-hmm. Especially
still
with
land
the
at
height,
the correct angle.
As we see her not give it a bid and just lay up for the easy par. As we see them move into position, and that approach that Casey threw ended up a bit deep and left. Looks like she's going to have to maybe go to a knee to make this one. Or just yep, there we go. And this would be a really good par.
Yeah.
That approach was super difficult.
She got it.
Don't rush yourself, but let's rush.
Looks like right on schedule. A little bit of rain is starting to fall. That's going to make it quite challenging going into the final hole. At least only the final hole that we're going to be dealing with that weather on this card.
No, the glittery one. Oh my gosh. It's like, how did you lose that? I don't know. I mean,
There's the rain. You can see the water drops hitting down. Hopefully it doesn't get raining too hard on them. Let them finish their round. And boy, one more chance for Jessica to get it to even.
Yeah, one more chance, and I think Casey wants a birdie. I think Vanessa wants one, and Hokom as well. If they can get to 3 under, and Casey can play these last 4 or 5 holes at a couple under par, that would bode well for her, to get back to 7 like she just was, and let's see what they can do. Heading into hole 18.
So, hole 18. It's looking like it's the 4th most difficult, 14th most difficult. Its average is 2.95. What do you think?
I think it's averaging about 2.95.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. We see Sarah kind of get in position here. Looking at the stats, there are a handful of birdies on this hole, so there is birdies to be had on it. As we see a Hokom line up and try to get the skip underneath the branches. She's asking for that skip again, and that's going to be right at circle's edge. Hopefully she got past these branches finally so she can do the putt that she prefers right there.
Oh, you made that one. Yeah. So bad. Do you want me to read through?
But, I mean, she'll take that. That was a good shot.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I remember that.
383 feet. It's downhill a ways, so it allows them to really have the push. I would really like to see her do this shot and park it, similar to what we saw back a couple holes ago. She pulled it.
wow, that was so
And she's gotten through, and she's putting it in the circle next, probably 28 feet or so, it looks like.
Let's see if she can finally, you know, put one in from that distance. She's put herself in that same spot, I would say 5-6 times this round, and not able to make any of them. And still somehow has managed to get back to +1. So that would be an amazing feat to get back to even, as we've mentioned several times. As
Vanessa fades off to the left.
And really an impressive round from Vanessa. You know, if she's able to get up and down, which I'm guessing she's going to be able to come in at 2 under with almost zero, you know, trouble. Like it was just kind of got in there, got a couple birdies and got out. You know, we saw her miss that one putt. And pardon me, I had got them mixed up as far as Casey and Jessica there, but that was actually Casey who got in position for the birdie, and Jessica's, you know, just outside the circle.
Nice shot, dude.
The Raptor was created for a specific shot, a specific distance, and especially comfort. A lot of thought went into the design of the Raptor. We wanted to make a disc comparable to the zone that just went a little bit further with that consistency. And with the Raptor, I really feel like we accomplished that.
Passion.
I made one just for like my disc. And here's Jessica just putting it up there. She's going to end up shooting a +1. And just to go over a few extra details on the round, I mean, thank you, UDisc, for providing all those stats for us to really push, you know, the game forward, and for us to be able to say this is the 14th most difficult. There's been 3 birdies on this hole.
We have all these talking points that we can really hit. We can look at how players ahead have played.
I would love to see Sarah be able to make, and she almost dives for it. That needs to sit. She
uses her new Jedi moves that she's just recently been practicing to get it to stop.
Yeah, that was almost there. You know, thank you, Discraft, as we see on the bottom there with the scores. Discraft is one of the main sponsors for the Ledgestone. You know, Nate Heinel worked very close with Discraft throughout the whole year to raise all the money for this. So thank you to them, as we see Glide line up this. And I really wanted to see her make that.
Yeah. That was an excellent drive. She kind of got away with one on the drive, but you really want to capitalize on those.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no. Maybe nerves, you know, closing out the round, knowing that she, you know, had a pretty good score going into there, something that we really kind of saw the whole card struggle with the putt today. And it was a little bit unfortunate, but great coverage all day as Hokom lines this up, especially if we got to see some of the second card, you know, the featured second card, which was nice. And they had some really hot scores coming in. If you want to check that whole entire round out, GK Productions will have that out, I'm sure, you know, tomorrow or the next day, and that'll be as we see, you know, 2 of the hot scores come off of that card so far. Go check that out. And that's it.
That's a great thing that we have now. We have the ability to have multiple card coverage, post-production. We get live coverage right now coming to us. It's excellent. Yeah, and that was entertaining.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
Jessica kept us on the edge of our seat the whole time and on the edge of OB, but she played a very good round considering.
And Sarah just doing what Sarah does. You know, she pops a 2 under, and that's right there, right in the mix at tied for 6th place. As we run up the leaderboard, you know, Jennifer Allen with a -3, Holly Finley with a -3, Paige Pierce -5. Katrina Allen is leading the tournament at a -6. Who's really come alive at the, you know, this year. She's been putting tournaments together and, you know, exchanging blows with Paige Pierce like we're used to seeing. But I'm excited to see through the week, like these courses, as you guys got to watch with us, they have a lot of great scoring holes, but if you're off a little bit, there is OB everywhere. And as we saw today, high rises. The name of the game today for us, I felt like, was putting. I felt like that card really struggled with the putter. And if they can somehow, you know, flip-flop that in the next 2 days.
Well, if we think about it, like, had they connected all those putts coming down the stretch, we would have a much different score. We'd be 5 or 6 strokes differently. And this leaderboard would look quite a bit different. We might see one of our card all the way at the top and right in the mix. We're not far off from the mix. These girls got a couple more rounds to go, and I think that it's all within their realm to do it. They're all like superb athletes.
No, absolutely. People like Haley King, we saw her get off to a fast shot, was 5 under through 6 holes. So there's birdies to be had out there. But there's trouble as well. You know, the back 9 kind of got her, and she ended up shooting +3 on the next, you know, 13 holes. So it's been great, though, to see the rain kind of hold off on them until the very end. That was kind of lucky, and the breeze was kind of up and down. But this was super enjoyable. Thanks for joining me in the booth. And this is our
Thanks for joining us out there, guys, for taking the time to come and watch the women's coverage. We'll be seeing you soon with the men's coverage. I want to thank the PDGA, Smashbox, UDisc, and the Pro Tour. Thank Discraft. Like you said, they're the main sponsor of the Ledgestone Insurance Open. And what a great event. It's going to be a bucket list event for me to get out there one of these days.
I'm going to give you a chance to say that, what was it, Kelly I was kind of avoiding the name because I knew I was going to butcher it, but
she played well.
She played really well and made it to the featured card for tomorrow. So
congrats to her.
Yep.
Excellent play.
Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. And that's it for us.
I think so.
The PDGA has ignited the passions of professional and amateur members, paving the way for generation after generation of die-hard players. Disc golf isn't just your passion, it's ours too.